American people can trust our voting system.
The remarks could increase doubts about election processes ahead of November midterm elections that will determine control of Congress. The Trump administration is changing how long foreign journalists can stay and work in the U.S., replacing the current duration of status system with fixed periods.
The Department of Homeland Security says it's shortening visas for most foreign journalists to 240 days, down from stays of up to 5 years. Journalists from China will face even stricter limits, with visas capped at 90 days, prompting Beijing to warn of possible reciprocal countermeasures. While visas can still be extended, the change has raised concerns over press freedom. Advocates for foreign journalists say the shorter timeframes will make it harder for them to live and work in the U.S. Homeland Security says the change is necessary to better vet visa holders.
President Trump says
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-555-2085, 800-555-2085, or biglou.com.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
President Trump's media.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
Molotov cocktails thrown into a restaurant in Bakersfield. I'm Chris Davis. Those Molotov cocktails did not do what they were intended to do, and the restaurant is still standing and is still open for business. It is Mariscos Las Islitas at Panama Lane and H Street. Police say about 1:40 Wednesday morning, someone chucked 6 Molotov cocktails in all into the place, but they only did limited damage. Police do have some surveillance video to work from, and they have not publicly discussed any possible motives. You may also remember that Luigi's was set on fire, and that was Saturday morning. Now police say the person they believe did that was caught on surveillance video and also set other fires in the area, and now police are anxious to get the cuffs on him. The person seen in the video is about 5'5", wearing a dark-colored T-shirt and blue jeans, and had a bald spot. What motive that person might have had for trying to set the restaurant on fire was not made clear by police. It's 14 years to life, plus another 4 years for 49-year-old Devon Means of Wasco, who police say got into a fight with a man at a family gathering, decided he would finish the job the next day, and went into the shed where the guy was sleeping in Wasco, pulled out a gun, and plugged him 4 times. That was in 2024. The man was hit in the thigh and the arm and the stomach, but survived. What did not survive was Means' freedom. It was at a Wednesday Ridgecrest City Council meeting that one person after the other came forward and said they would prefer that the City Council not consider having a contract with the Flock Company. You may have heard that LA recently suspended their contract with Flock cameras. Those cams are AI-powered and purport to use license plate reader technology to identify cars that may be stolen. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
To the rest of in a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's going to give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing for those streaming on YouTube. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, and we're streaming live at KERNradio.com. J.R. Flores is producing the broadcast before he goes on vacation. Let's hear your lineup next week. It's a star-studded lineup.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah, Kathy will fill in for me.
Kathy Abernathy on Monday.
Yeah. Monday, I think it's Monday. Clayton Campbell will fill in today. I can't remember the exact days that everybody's doing, but
Right.
and then I may even allow Mr. Burdick to fill in a day. I told him, hey, dude, here's the deal.
Really?
Well, because he had a show over here on our sister station for a while. And
So who's going to produce for him?
that ain't my problem.
I'll be at the beach. I
I've
don't
got
know.
I have 3 Coronas in by then. You kidding me? 1 o'clock?
All right, so Verdict. We found out he was, in fact, if you were with us a couple days ago,
Uh-oh.
when we had the folks from DC in, he is related to the Keith Burdick that's
Oh, yeah.
part of the Pirates of Penzance, which I am going to see on Sunday at 2 o'clock. I'm very excited.
His family is big in theater.
Are they really?
Yeah, I know that I've seen his uncle, I believe, in Cats at the Ovation Theater downtown before.
Is his name Keith?
No, it's Doug
Oh.
Burdick, I believe, and
Yeah.
his aunt was also one of the directors or helped out with the Boys and Girls Club and their summer camps. Jill
Really?
Burdick, yeah,
Really?
Jill Burdick, yeah. He's got about 3 or 4 different family members that are big in the theater.
And then, of course, he's
Big.
got the Clark side of his family,
then,
which
yeah.
is all pest control. This kid is royalty in this town.
And here he is.
Absolutely.
Here he is
And
every
he's
day.
schlepping aboard, doing the Ralph Bailey Show and the J.R. Flores Show. How the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen. Who else you got?
Well, that and then the surprise guest again.
Oh, all right. Very good. Very good. Very good. I am working out my August 2nd through August 5th lineup. I've got it.
Yeah, because you're
almost-
what, 2 weeks after me, right? Is that what it is?
Yes, yes,
So you still got 2 more weeks to go.
first week of August.
Yeah, I got like 3 hours.
That hurts. That really hurts. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Where you going? Did you figure it
Uh,
out? Did you find you still have in Porterville? No.
No. I got to go somewhere cool. I think I'm just going to go to LA.
Oh, cool. Like weather-wise, cool.
Yeah, like LA. Vegas is definitely out. Not
Why?
doing Vegas because I'm trying to save money for.
Oh, Philly. For
Yeah.
Philly.
Did I bring the wrong
Oh boy,
rundown?
we're not doing a show today. It's Friday. I
I
mean,
brought the
does it-
Oh. And I didn't send one to you because there's no audio. Oh, please tell me.
there's another
Please
notepad.
tell
We
me.
have another notepad. There's a second notepad.
There could be no. There may be no show.
Well, Bentley's already here. If you want to just bring him in,
Ah, thank you, Jesus. I used to-
Just
I used
go
the
back
wrong-
in the room, Bentley.
Go ahead, Rick. I got
Sit
it.
back down.
I used the wrong legal pad. I got okay. We got a show. We got a show. Boy, do we got a show. Because it was almost Uber time. And short time here wouldn't have complained. Let's go. Corona time. Shoot. But we do have a good show for you. We'll start with the president's speech last night, which ABC and CBS did not carry, which I think was that's not right. When the president's speech, the networks should cover it. Now, granted, it was a big nothing. I'll grant you that. We'll delve into that in just a second. Zach Scrivener is close to walking away completely and totally unscathed from that infamous evening in Tehachapi. However, there's new information. I should say Christina Scrivener sent a letter to KGET. I'll read the incredible portion of that. And as Mr. Flores mentioned, Rick Bentley will join us at the bottom of the hour. Nick Ragone joins us at 4. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. I don't know if you guys saw the end of, well, not really the end. Well, yeah, kind of the end of round 2. Bryson DeChambeau had shot a 66. He was 7 under par. He was 1 under the leader, 1 back from the leader, and he got a very controversial penalty called on him after the fact. If you know anything about golf, let me appeal to those that don't know anything about golf. The key or the outstanding facts of British golf is that they're links courses, which means they don't have a lot of trees. It's very flat. The ball runs, and the only penalty is the rough, which isn't the rough that we're used to. It's kind of a wispy, tall, kind of weeds rough, where the weeds are about as high as your knee, if not higher. And he hit it into one of those. And then, as golfers are wont to do, and I do this, everybody has a routine, or you should have a routine before you hit. Here's my routine. Again, reasons why you should stream on YouTube. I get behind the ball. I take just kind of a little. I don't take any kind of. I just kind of take a little swing, and then I kind of, all right, calm down, and then I address the ball. What they're saying he did was, by going behind the ball, he was tromping down the wispy weeds, therefore improving his backswing. By stomping down those weeds, now his club can travel easier and through than had he not. And they admitted, the R&A officials, the Royal and Ancient officials where golf began, are saying it was inadvertent. We're not accusing him of cheating, but the rules are the rules. I totally disagree with it. And it'll be fascinating because I was talking with Ragone all morning, and then the text messages stopped when this went on. So I think he knows the what's the word I'm looking for? The genuineness of doing something, talking about something, unrehearsed. What are your thoughts? You're a fellow golfer. Did you see it at all? You've been watching this at all?
I didn't see it. No, the first I've heard of it was just you explaining it to me now. And
so they gave him a 2-shot penalty. So instead of shooting 66 and being in the final group at 7 under, he shot a 68 and is 5 under and is in the 3rd group. And every golfer wants to be in the final group. That's the big deal. That's why. And he was pissed. They went back out to the 5th hole so he could plead his case. And they were out there for about 20 minutes, and he was animated, looked like Caitlin Clark. He was animated, yelling and
pointing.
Yeah, he was. He really was. He was like this, and then pointing like, what the? And then they finally went into the score thing. And in UK, they're famous for their big, huge yellow scoreboards that are manually operated. And the guys and the Golf Channel had no idea what was going on. In fact, Terry Gannon, whose daughter used to work here, his daughter used to work at 17. She's now in D.C. covering the White House. They didn't know what was going on. And then you see they take DeChambeau's name off the board, and you're like, damn. And then you see him put it down, and I'm like, that ain't right.
I mean, rules are rules.
I guess.
At that point, I don't think you can bring intent into
the
conversation.
Yeah, it has
nothing
to do with it.
Because they even said, we don't think he was trying to do that.
He was inadvertent.
Yeah, it was inadvertent. He wasn't trying to give himself a better backswing. It just so happened that's what happened.
It'll be interesting to see what Nick has to say of that, because if you guys don't know, Mr. Ragone organized a Champions Tour, a senior tour event in St. Louis, and now he and his boss moved to Philadelphia at a different hospital group, and he's organized another championship tour event in Philadelphia. That's where I'm going on September 28th. And what I want to ask, don't let me forget to ask Ragone, because I'm an old man who smokes a lot of weed. What happens if that happens at his tournament? Does he make the call? Does he have like a committee? Does he have like a president that runs the rules? I'll be interested in that. We'll talk with him at 4 o'clock. And the city council, there's a couple of stories that I haven't been able to get to this week because we've been so busy. And one is the sanctuary story, that we want to become a sanctuary city. I'm not sure how much that matters given our state status of a sanctuary state, but I don't like it. I don't think any of you like it. And this is part of the problem with confrontations. While I'm dead set against, no pun intended, the shootings that are going on, the confrontations that are going on between ICE and people that aren't even the initial targets of their raids. Part of the issue is that these cities, these states are not cooperating with law enforcement, because back in the day when Obama was making deportations at record numbers, the ICE agents could just come into the police stations and scoop these guys up. But now you're fighting the government, essentially. And now we're going to become a part of that? Man, I'll tell you, I got here in 1992, and this is a different community in 2026. How it has changed. That basically we have a liberal city council, essentially. Delve into that. And another old story. Did you hear this, Mr. Flores? And I haven't gotten to it all week. It was kind of reported earlier in the week. But one of my favorite human beings who I've never met, Captain Chesley Sullenberger, has Alzheimer's. Is there anything other than something terminal? Is there anything worse than getting Alzheimer's and knowing you have it? And he said he was forgetting things like where he lived. He got lost coming home one night. And I'll explain what doctors think, because he's 75 years old. And they think that is, apparently, according to doctors that I read this morning, that's late onset Alzheimer's, which is rare. Normally it starts to occur earlier. It just doesn't occur that late. I'll tell you why doctors think it came on to him so early. Mr. Flores and I will take the New York Times quiz. We haven't done that in a while, which means I got nothing to fill the 5 o'clock hour. And we'll talk a little about Caitlin Clark. And Josh Allen is the #1 rated quarterback in the NFL. Can you believe that? Josh Allen? I like Josh Allen. But how, JR, do you not go with Patrick Mahomes as the #1 quarterback in the NFL? Josh Allen hasn't won a damn thing. He's a talented kid. He's a big kid. He's from the Central Valley. But how you rank him over Patrick Mahomes is unbeknownst to me, and you know how much I hate the Chiefs as a Raiders fan. But that's crazy. But I don't even want your opinion on that. I want your opinion on this. Okay? PH. Oh, Lord, I forgot already. I knew I should have wrote their names down. These are quarterbacks.
PH.
Quarterbacks.
Philip? No. Not
No. Maybe that's an M. Peyton Manning. I think that's an M. Peyton Manning.
He doesn't even play anymore.
I know. Just listen.
Okay,
Listen to the question. Okay. Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. God, I should have wrote the names down. DB. Drew Brees. John Elway, and Joe Montana.
Okay, go again.
Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, John Elway, Joe Montana. Whom do you remove?
Oh, take out.
Yes. You got to take out one. And you'd be shocked what some people were saying. I was just
take out for what reason though?
It's just a stupid internet question.
But like take out as they don't belong in the group?
Exactly. If you had to remove one, who would you remove?
Well, I can go one of two ways here though.
Yeah, what do you got?
See, I can take out Aaron Rodgers because I don't think he belongs in this group.
That's the one I took. That's the one I took.
But I can also take out Joe Montana and say he's better than all of them and doesn't belong in this group because none of them belong in the group with Joe Montana.
Ooh, that's an interesting take. Oh, no, where's Brady? Where's Brady? Brady has to
Brady
be in
who?
this.
I don't know. Brady who? Brady didn't know Brady.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot to add Brady.
Never heard of
got to add Brady.
Never heard of this Brady fella.
There's a man named Brady. He was busy with 3 boys of his own. All right, let's go. We got to get started. We'll come back and I'll give you the latest on the president's speech, and we'll read what Christina Scrivener has written about Kathy Scrivener. It's a pretty amazing allegation, particularly given the time that is between the incident and now, and we've never heard this evidence. And I am busting my hump and getting on my hands and knees to try to get my good friend Lauren Skidmore to talk Miss Scrivener into coming in the studio and talking with us exclusively, but so far to no avail. But I shan't stop. This is a big deal. Wait till you hear what she has to say. Just getting started on this Friday. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 AM 1230, and we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN, Maxwell in the Morning. good till the last mic drop.
Judge blocks the Virginia law barring ICE agents from wearing a mask. Can you believe that? Can you believe they have to have a law prohibiting masks? That's the insanity going on. A judge ruled that it's likely unconstitutional. All they had to do was get a message from the DOJ. Excuse me, but that's unconstitutional. Go away. You know, swat them like a fly.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Next time you go to Luigi's, you must, and I mean you must, begin in the deli. What started as a situation where Gino's grandfather or great-grandfather just wanted to feed fellow Italians in the neighborhood and then became a little grocery store. And now Lynette Valpredo has come back years ago and has absolutely transformed the deli. As I talk about, she's one of the best sommeliers you'll ever run into. Her specialty is Italian wines. Go in there, check out the merch. If you're a foodie, the deli is a place for you. Use all of the Luigi seasonings that I use in my own home. Then maybe go have a cocktail with Julie in the bar, head outside. With this kind of weather, you might want to stay inside with Liz and all the other incredible staffers at Luigi's restaurant at Old World Delicatessen. But that's the way to start, in the deli. A little Prosecco, maybe a little Italian wine, a little merge. I'm just telling you, and if you're a foodie, it's the place for you. Where would you rather be than Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show?
Let's be honest, money can feel overwhelming. Markets change, life changes, and most people are left wondering, am I actually on track? That's where MoneyWise comes in. We help people simplify the complex, make smart financial decisions, and move forward with confidence, without the jargon, without the pressure. Retirement planning, big life transitions, or just getting organized and knowing where you stand. And now you can find us in a new home, the historic Woolworths building, right in downtown Bakersfield. MoneyWise, clear advice, local roots. Learn more at moneywiseguys.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through LPL Financial. LPL Financial and MoneyWise Wealth Management are independently owned and operated.
I'm John Busby with Team Busby Real Estate. And I'm Jonathan Busby with Team Busby Real Estate. We just wanted to talk with you about what we do as a team. We do a great job for our clients. Some of the things that we do is when we represent sellers, we don't just put the transaction together. We do our homework and we check their FICO score, source of funds, where the money's coming from, and the job stability. Because what we don't want is to get you into an escrow and the escrow falls out because we didn't do our homework.
With any sort of real estate need that you have, we can accommodate, whether it's residential, commercial, land, or multi-units. We have experience in all and can help you to a successful close.
The background that we have is I was a lender for 5 years. And so I learned quite a bit as far as how to keep a transaction together. We don't just put it together and hope that it closes escrow. Nothing's 100%, but we do stack it in your favor.
With any needs or questions with real estate, give us a call at 661-410-7355 or visit our website at www.teambusby.com.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Five. Greatest fan alive. But now, my man, way past 21. That's so fun. Ain't that I love the song. That's what I'm saying. 812-537-6812-KERN. So here's how you know the president's
assertions. Well, really, he was accurate. Because if you paid attention to the speech, he made no connection to the Chinese influence or the Russia influence or whoever's influence to actual ballot changing. He never talked about that. And the way that you know that there's nothing to this story, Fox isn't covering it. Fox isn't covering it. I told you they didn't cover it yesterday. They didn't cover it tonight. They aired his speech, course, while others did not, and shame on ABC and CBS for not airing the president's speech, he's the leader of the free world. I don't think the network should have the liberty in deciding on what is palpable or what is acceptable when the leader of the free world wants to speak. I just don't believe that. I think it's your network obligation to air the president. And it just goes to show just how, do you think they would have ever not run an Obama speech or a Biden speech, no matter what the topic? If Obama wanted to talk about, remember when Obama got dragged because he was wearing a beige coat? If he wanted to have a news conference on that, ABC and CBS and NBC would have been all over it. So don't tell me about news and journalism and all this nonsense. It's about Trump derangement syndrome, which clearly exists. I just don't understand, if you're part of the numbskulls that believe this, there's massive fraud and that Joe Biden did not win fair and square. How does resurrecting this help the Republican Party? You're basically telling your base that the game is rigged. So who would play in a rigged game? You know, if I told you, hey, come to Hard Rock with me, there's a rigged game at the craps table, why would you go? It just doesn't help. And it doesn't help that he's bagging on Susan Collins. He just doesn't care about the midterms. And I'm telling you, that's why I believe we're going to lose those 2 Senate seats, because of the shootings that went on both in Maine and Texas. And those are the 2 Senate races that both parties need desperately. And now he's bagging on Susan Collins because this is about the SAVE Act. This is about a lot of things, but this isn't. The president's speech last night had nothing to do with 2020. It had nothing to do with 2020. It has to do with the midterms, and it has to do with the SAVE Act. And he wants the SAVE Act so badly that he refused to sign that housing bill. That was a bipartisan bill. It became a bill, but he wouldn't sign it. I just don't. You got to explain to me how this helps months away from a midterm. And it's politics, folks. It's about winning. It is about winning. And this just doesn't help at all, at all. And again, there is no connection. Nobody's talking about ballots being changed. And if you hear that, and I meant to talk to our general manager, because some of this noise is coming from, most recently, from this radio station. And the person that is perpetrating it can't rub 2 nickels together. He's not going to get sued. But Mr. Brandon has those nickels. And our general manager might be on the hook. Because if you're spreading this nonsense that ballots were exchanged because of Dominion, we are open for a suit. I don't know if you know it. It's been in all the papers. But Fox had to write a check for $800 million. I suspect that's one of the reasons they're staying away from this story. The second being, it's a BS story. Joe Biden, as miraculous as it was, won the 2020 election. And by the way, as I pointed out yesterday, and others are pointing out, the 2 elections that Trump won, Democrats were in charge. The one that he lost, he was in charge, with the CIA and the same essential intelligence community that he has now. It just doesn't make sense, y'all. It just doesn't make sense that the Democratic Party has this device, this manner, this ability, or the Chinese have this ability to change elections. And yet, as I talked about yesterday, can't we all agree that the last thing on the world every Democrat on this planet wanted to see was Trump back in the White House? To see Trump pull off the Grover Cleveland, isn't that the very last thing Democrats wanted? But you believe that they have a device to swing presidential elections, mayoral elections, and yet they just didn't use it in 2024. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure it does. Makes about as much sense as me going to Porterville for my vacation. Just don't make no sense. In fact, going to Porterville makes more sense. There's a golf course, casino, and I know a little gal. Anyway, quick time out. We're headed to the back half of the hour. It's a Friday. Rick Bentley joins us next. It's TRBS, News Talk 96.1 AM, 1230. We're streaming at kernradio.com.
News. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says Darlene Graham, the sister of the late Lindsey Graham, has his support to run for a full term to replace her brother in the U.S. Senate. Graham is serving the remaining months of her late brother Lindsey Graham's Senate term, but she's weighing a possible run for a full term. The United States has expanded its airstrike campaign against Iran by hitting more bridges and collapsed a tower at a key Iranian port. The seventh night in a row of strikes came after President Trump had threatened to start striking infrastructure to pressure Tehran to ease its chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down by 406 points. The Nasdaq dropped 361. The S&P 500 lower by 76. Oil passed $82 a barrel. This is SRN News.
Progressive knows you've got plenty of things to worry about.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
2 restaurants damaged by fire, 2 firebugs wanted by police. The first happened early Saturday morning at Luigi's Restaurant on the southeast side. That's where a man tried to set a fire, and police now say he also set 7 other fires. They'd like to put the cuffs on him, and they're asking for tips. He's described as 5'5", was last seen wearing blue jeans and a dark-colored T-shirt, and has a bald spot. The second incident was 6 Molotov cocktails thrown inside of Morisco's Las Islitas at Panama Lane and 8th Street. That happened Wednesday morning about 1:40, say Bakersfield police and fire investigators. But whoever did it was not successful in burning the place down, and it is still open for business. No motive has been discussed publicly, and police are asking for tips. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey, it's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Sangera Subaru. You know, the world's biggest tournament is in full swing. In the summer, Sangera Subaru is bringing all the excitement home. So they're kicking it off right now in July with some incredible offers on new Subarus. Right now, lease a 2026 Outback Green CVT for $229 a month for 36 months and $5,017 due at signing. Plus, every Subaru comes standard with symmetrical all-wheel drive. So don't miss your chance to drive something brand new during soccer's biggest event of the summer going on right now at Sangera Subaru. Stop by, see my good friends Damon and Hassan, and test drive a brand new Subaru. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community. 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive in the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
2026 Subaru Outback Premium CVT with TSRP $37,287, $229 per month plus tax for 36 months. Total lease payments $8,869, $5,017 total due at lease signing. Includes first month payment, excludes tax, title, license, and $85 document fee. Total lease costs $13,886, excluding tax and fees. No security deposit. Lease based on 7,500 miles per year, 57 mile over. Available to qualified customers through Subaru Motor Finance. On approved credit, expired July 31st, 2026. Excludes optional equipment and installed accessories. VIN number TY514370.
Get ready, Bakersfield. It's back and bigger than ever. The Walker Lewis Rents Tent Sale is happening Saturday, July 18th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you do not want to miss it. We're talking massive savings on everything you need. Sofa sets starting at $99. Bedroom sets starting at $79. Mattresses at $40. Dinette sets starting at $55. We also have hundreds of kitchen essentials like linens, glassware, flatware, vacuums, and so much more at low, low prices. If you've been waiting for unbelievable prices on both new and slightly used products, this is your moment. Bring your truck, bring a friend, and bring your wallet because major credit cards and cash are accepted. And these deals won't last long. Find us at 4501 Ride Street off District Boulevard and Gosford Road. The Walker Lewis Rents Tent Sale, Saturday, July 18th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Be there early because once it's gone, it's gone.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
I don't know how good it feels. Hunter Bentley, as those of you who are viewing on YouTube can see, is real quick. Amuse-bouche. I don't know what the texter was calling about, but it is a tiny, complimentary, bite-sized hors d'oeuvre served before a meal. Unlike an appetizer, it is not ordered from a menu. It is a gift from the chef used to awaken the palate, showcase the kitchen's culinary style, and welcome guests to the dining experience.
Okay, because we were talking about how I took a short 2-day vacation to prelude my long vacation.
So they're making an analogy that's the appetizer.
Yeah.
And I went way over my head.
That was way above us.
I mean, I looked it up and I said, he had to explain it to me. I still didn't know what it meant. I didn't get the analogy. What are you gonna do?
That was just a soupçon of analogy.
How are you, sir?
I am wonderful.
And you've seen Mr. Damon et al. It's an incredible cast of The Odyssey. Your thoughts? I can't wait because this is the first time I haven't been excited about a movie since Oppenheimer.
So I got ready last night. I got home from watching it and I started writing my online version of my review.
Mhm.
And all I could type was stunning.
Really good. Thank you, Jesus.
And then the next paragraph was that word doesn't really completely hold up. I mean, I need a much stronger word than that. It is.
Really?
I'm the guy who, gripes about everything.
Right.
And I will dig and dig and dig until I find that little tiny flaw. I mean, I'm the guy who gave Oppenheimer an A-, okay? and yet I could not find a flaw in this movie.
Wow.
It is one of the most stunning pieces of cinema I have seen in my life. It plays that story of the Odyssey that we all grew up with in school and read it about.
Mhm.
All the elements are there. The Cyclops, Cersei turning the men into pig. And these aren't spoilers because this has been out there so much long time. All the elements are there. I think maybe the purists will say, well, he concentrates on some elements more than others, but that's up to
Chris Nolan.
Yeah, it's Christopher Nolan. He adds a secondary story that adds just a great level to the story itself. The casting is flawless. The cinematography is just unbelievable. Even the music, the composer refused to use any modern orchestra instruments. He used 35 gongs. He used lyres and instruments from the Greek period of that time to create the music. Now, I saw it in the IMAX here in town at the mall. And
is that the only one?
That's the only IMAX we have.
Okay.
And we'll get into a little bit about the IMAX real quick, but I just want to say, not
When
only
you say the mall, you mean the Valley Plaza.
right,
The Reading.
at the Reading Cinema.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have tickets to that? Yeah.
Well,
We got Reading Cinema.
here. Sweet. This is how good this movie is, and I'm the first one to say. I always balk about telling people to spend money. You can wait for the go pay the IMAX fee.
Really?
Yeah. Now, if you want to go on the Reading Cinema does have I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday has a half price day. You can get some deals that way, but it is worth seeing it on a big screen.
Yeah.
It's
the only way to see it.
Damon is amazing in it. Anne Hathaway is great as Penelope. They don't have a lot of scenes together, obviously, because he's to get home.
I'm trying to get to meet her.
But I still feel that connection from them. I felt like they were, she would wait for him and he would want to get home to her. Robert Pattinson, who I have thanked many a time for being just the most blandest. He is the sort of the villainous suitor in this thing. He's so good at that. John Leguizamo plays. He's a blind man who is a loyal servant. He is amazing.
Did not know who was in the film.
He is,
because I've seen the cast interview on the Today Show, but he was not a part of that.
Well, the Daily Show had him on as a guest. So
Did they?
yeah. So, but he's amazing in it.
What about Zendaya?
She's good. Her part as Athena is just sort of to pop in, sort of be that voice in his ear.
Yeah.
So there's not much meat to that role. But she does what she's supposed to.
And who's her man? Her boyfriend?
Oh, it's Tom Holland.
And he's in it too, right?
He's in it. He plays Odysseus' son.
Okay.
Yeah. So cast is great. Lupita Nyong'o is Helen.
Forgot about her.
Who I think is one of the most stunning women I've ever met in my life.
Yeah,
I'm
she's a
telling
great
you.
actress.
And
Great
I'm so tired of hearing this argument about, Helen of Troy was blonde and Greece is near northern Africa.
Right.
So there's going to be people of all colors and races in there. So I don't want to hear that argument anymore.
Right.
She's a beautiful, stunning woman. I would go to war for her.
Yeah.
Okay, so that should be ended.
Because if you want to get in that kind of argument, let's talk about Jesus.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the argument you throw back at people.
Exactly.
If you think Jesus is blonde and blue-eyed, you got a lot to learn.
Yeah, you need to read your geography.
Exactly.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Now, I will say this. It looks amazing on IMAX, and I think you should see it there. Christopher Nolan shot this with an IMAX camera.
Now
which
explain
is-
that.
It's a 70 millimeter camera,
Okay.
which is twice as big as normal movie cameras. The problem is there are only 21 theaters in the United States that can show an IMAX film.
Only 21?
Only 21.
And we have one. That makes sense.
Well, you see, we have an IMAX, but we don't have one of those 21 for the Supermax.
Oh,
for
is that
lack of a
right?
better way, right? There are only 21 of those. There's like 6 in LA, and then New York, and so I mean, it's rare to find. And what's so interesting about that is because there are only 21 places. If you want to see it in that original and that original version, tickets are now being scalped for about $1,000.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, should I go to LA to
And
see it?
if you go to
Not
LA
for
to
a
see it,
G.
if you go to LA to see it, you're going to at least have to wait 3 months because every screening in LA for the next 3 months at those theaters are sold out.
I have never heard of that in my
I've
life.
never either. I have. It's just.
That is amazing.
It is amazing. But I will tell you this: I didn't see it on the Supermax. I saw it just on the regular Max, and it was worth it.
What
I mean,
was it? Was it a packed crowd?
It was a full house.
Yeah.
Absolutely full. And what I loved about, I feel like I'm just going on, and I normally don't do this. I don't rave this much. The audience never said a word during the whole movie.
Really?
And when
That's
it was done,
rare.
they applauded.
Must have been no black folks in the audience.
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry. We do like to talk in the films, though. You know we do.
You said
girl, don't go down that hallway. I tried to tell you not to go down that hallway. We like to talk in the movies. Just saying.
You said that, not me.
That's right.
Yeah, but again, the only time I've ever seen an audience applaud it was been in LA when I used to see movies down there.
The audience applauded.
The applaud here.
That's
Applauded at the end.
crazy.
So
I want to go see it tonight.
You can't. Well, if you want, you can't go. The tickets are all sold out. There's a couple of seats available for Sunday night at 9:30, but everything else up to then is out
Here locally.
Here locally. Wow. Now there are other theaters in town that are showing it on regular screens.
Yeah.
And you can see it there, and it will be just the story. Of course, it starts with a tremendous story. It's one of the greatest pieces of literature in human history.
Ever.
Yeah.
How old
so,
is this? Like 2,000?
Yeah.
3,000
Homer
years?
wrote it. Yeah. And so it starts with a great story. Nolan was smart enough to not try to change it too much. Embrace. There's the section where Cersei turns the men into pigs. Is the most compelling transformation I've seen. The last time I was so amazed by a transformation was A Werewolf in London. Because when I saw that,
Great picture.
it's a great picture.
Great picture.
And if you remember that transformation for him into a werewolf,
Where the first one where he's in the
Yeah.
nurse's house
Yeah.
and
his
you
hands-
actually watch him change into
Yeah.
the wolf. That is pretty good.
That stayed with me forever. This is the best I can remember since then, because Cersei literally is putting her hand in their face and molding it like it's clay, and it's just amazing.
Wow.
I wish I feel like I should find something wrong just because it's the nature to do that. Even the fact it's 2 hours and 53 minutes. I would be the first person normally to go, well, we could cut.
And you know me with 3-hour movies.
I will guarantee you, I couldn't find a place that said, they padded that or that wasn't needed.
Yeah.
That wasn't, no. Every moment, every frame is utilized to its max. I love the fact that we don't start with the Trojan War and then have to plot through all that, but it's told naturally to Odysseus' son, and so he gets to find out about his dad, and we get to see the Trojan War, but we don't have to do it in a linear way.
Right.
So I love that. It's just, I think this is what I see a lot of bad movies. And there was a point where you go, wow, I'm getting really burned out on this. And then something like this comes along, and I'm reminded why I love movies so much.
That's good.
This is as good as it gets.
That is good to hear. That really is.
Yeah, and I'm the guy who like I said, I gave Oppenheimer an A- because I felt like there's a scene in there that had a gratuitous nudity scene that I felt like it was out of place.
Oh, yeah. I remember the Oppenheimer's mistress.
Yeah, I dinged him a little bit on that. And I have never given an A+ in my life. Never. In my entire 40 years of newspapers, never given an A+.
But you're giving it now.
This is the closest I've ever gotten to doing that. And I still don't.
Wow.
I'm still not doing it.
That's
But
incredible. Yeah, as I said, I saw Matt Damon in an individual interview. Then I saw him in an interview with the cast, and I knew there was something special about this because he's been in some pretty damn good movies. You know,
Yeah.
the Bourne series, the first movie that he did with his buddy Ben Affleck, the How About Them Apples?
yeah,
Well, what's the name of that movie? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking
The
about. Ben
Martian,
Affleck.
but
The
Martian.
Martian. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many good movies. And he said this was the single greatest experience of his entire career.
And he's also
And
said it was the hardest.
The most difficult, yes. They were on 6 different countries. He had to get to his high school weight. And he said Christopher Nolan is about reality.
Yeah.
So he couldn't wear, his wife hated him and his kids hated him, but he had to like grow the beard. And he said, you know, I haven't seen it obviously, but he said there's a scene where we have 1,000 people running. And he said, that's not, what is the term, CG or whatever? That's 1,000 people. And he said, everybody had played a role. Nobody complained. We were in water, freezing our butts off. We were in danger, but everybody worked their butt off for this thing.
They knew they were creating something special.
Exactly. That's exactly what he said.
Yes,
Everybody
yes.
busted their hump because they knew we had something in a bottle here.
Yeah, and so it definitely is the leading contender now for Best Picture
Yeah.
for the year.
Is Damon assured the Oscar?
He is assured of a nomination.
Of course.
I'm still
And so will she.
Yeah, well, I
I'm
think there are
assuming.
four nominations, at least 4 acting ones. I'm still kind of going a little bit back and forth about Ryan Gosling from Project Hail Mary.
Oh, okay. A different movie. I was like, I don't know.
So, he was so good in that.
Yeah.
I think that's going to become one of those like, well, how, you know, if I had a vote, it would go to Damon. But I'm just saying, I can't say he's a lock. You know, if you're betting, I would say he's going to have the best odds.
Right. Right.
But I don't know if he's a lock yet.
Same thing we
But-
said about Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I think Hathaway will definitely get it.
Oh.
I think Pattinson will get it. Pattinson and
Nominations or wins?
Nominations.
Yeah.
And I think Leguizamo will pull a nomination.
Really?
His performance, it's just again because I think even if I hadn't said it, you probably would have thought, who is that? I know that. And then you go, oh my gosh, that was John Leguizamo
Yeah.
playing that
Because
character.
I always watch credits.
Because it is so different than anything I've ever seen him do.
Yeah. And I've always liked him.
Yeah.
Always
but,
liked
but even, just even the tiniest characters are just perfectly cast. There's just everything about it works.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. Thank you. This is the first time I've been excited, like I said, since Oppenheimer.
Well-
and I don't mind 3-hour movies. My issue with Oppenheimer was it was the weekend. I was dating somebody at the time, and it was the weekend after we had seen the
Barbie.
No, Barbie. The Tom Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
We just seen 3 hours of Mission Impossible. And the next weekend we went and saw Oppenheimer. And I was like, I was just burnt out on 3-hour movies because I adored Oppenheimer.
I will tell you this: don't buy the big gulp before you go in.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have a hard time figuring out, can I slip away if I've got to go to the restroom?
Oh, you leave the I have never left the theater in the middle of, I have never understood that. When I see people getting up, I'm like, how can you lose like a chunk of the movie?
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand that.
I have to be in pain. I mean, or the movie has just pained me so much.
Well, I have a tradition. I go to the bathroom right before the movie starts.
Well, I do too, but I'm 900
At our
years
age,
old.
yeah, at our age, you're like-
yeah, you could go to the bathroom every 20 minutes and still get. Yeah.
Wow, I'm excited. I'm excited. We got a little time left. What about
I want to mention the passing of Hal Williams.
That's who it was. Hal Williams.
Yeah.
I love Hal Williams.
Yeah.
Where did Hal Williams first gain prominence? Test your TV quiz knowledge. I'll give you a hint. He was a cop on this series.
Well, he was a cop on Room 222.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Well, this is probably before this.
And
he played a cop again in the hit 70s series.
Why was I going to say Hawaii 5-0?
Negative. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun.
Sanford and Son.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun. He was
That's
the black
no.
cop. The bit was, there was a white and a black cop.
Right.
And they would come to Fred's house. And Fred would say, and the jive turkey came and jacked my stuff and left. And he turned to the white cop. The man broke into the house and stole the stuff. And they do the same thing with the white guy. The
Yeah.
white guy would be like, and the perpetrator came and fled. And the lady turned to Fred and go, the guy came in and ran, Fred. And that was the whole bit. And they would do that like just on occasions. And then I guess, not Room 2222. You meant the Marla Gibbs series. Yeah, he was her husband. I didn't watch that. But a great actor.
What's
Great
the,
actor.
what's the one movie? What was the one role he did in both a movie and reprised it on a TV series?
Ooh.
This is the true test of knowledge.
Oh, you got to give me a hint. Well, give me a decade.
Right around that time.
70s, 80s?
Yeah.
He played the same role in a movie and a television series?
Same role.
Was the movie named after the series or vice versa?
If the movie's name was blah blah, it
The
was
series
blah
is
blah
blah blah. And he
Now,
played a cop.
The leading actress
If you give me the leading actress, I'll get it. You'll give it
in
away.
the movie
Was
Goldie Hawn.
foul play.
Oh, fouls. He fouls one
Okay,
off.
strike one, strike one, strike one.
I know. I'm getting.
Goldie Hawn. And it was a series.
I tell you, sir. When it comes to your knowledge, I salute you, sir.
Oh, that stupid GI movie she did. Benjamin fighting Benjamin.
Private Benjamin.
Oh, I saw that.
Well,
I forgot he was an MP in that.
Yeah.
That's a horrible film.
Well, but
But you're right. That's a
trivia.
great trivia, though.
Yeah,
That is great trivia.
And he reprised the role in the TV series.
That is a great trivia. Final, I'll leave you with this. I'm also excited about the new Spider-Man.
Well,
You
good.
know, the only Spider-Man I've seen is the first one with Tobey Maguire.
Wow.
I've seen none of the other ones, but this is like a beginning. This isn't like part of the ongoing series. They start again, right?
Yeah, it's sort of rebooting the whole franchise.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited
you can
about it.
Jump into that.
Is Zendaya in this? Because it's her boyfriend that's
Yep.
in it, right?
Yep, she's
And
in
she
it.
plays his girlfriend in the film.
Yeah. Well,
No?
well,
Oh, you seen it?
no. I'm just saying yes and no because the world has been rebooted and she doesn't know him. She doesn't know Peter Parker anymore. So you can't say she's his girlfriend in this one because when the last film, Spider-Man's identity was revealed,
Yeah.
and it got wiped out by Doctor Strange, and now nobody knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and she doesn't know Peter Parker.
You just confused him, Rick.
I know.
He was excited for it, Rick. You had it.
I ain't seen it.
I took you down the nerd well.
You really did. You really did. You really
You
did.
realize that in an alternate universe, there is a Spider-Man and
I saw the interest just losing.
Totally lost me. Totally
I'm
lost
excited for that Spider-Man. Oh, wow. And that's his girlfriend. Well, really.
Speaking of that, The Odyssey is a great movie. You should go see.
I am going to go see that.
Somebody asked about the George Washington movie.
Oh, yeah, Young Washington.
I like that a lot. Yeah, the early years of Washington. It's sort of his first military work.
Yeah, with the French and Indian War. Is that where they pick it up?
Yeah, and literally at the beginning of that, it shows that Washington was flawed. He wasn't the perfect military leader.
Oh, he's a horrible military leader.
Yeah,
I've talked about that.
Yeah, I thought it was done very well.
Good.
If you're a history buff, yes, it's usually.
I am a history buff. I'm
Yeah,
excited
you
about
should
that. Well,
see that.
good. There's a lot to go see. I've got a newfound crush on Zendaya because they made her look so ugly in Euphoria. When I saw her dressed up, I was like, who is that? And somebody I was watching with was like, are you stupid? I go, I guess. Why? Who is that? She was like, that's Zendaya.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not Zendaya. That is Zendaya. Wow.
She's stunning.
They uglied her up in Euphoria. Good Google it, movie.
She's an old Disney child kid actor.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of her.
Like my nieces who are 20 now used to watch her on a show from Disney like 10, 15 years ago. She actually
Really?
came to the studios.
Was that?
Shut up.
Like probably good
That-
10
it was-
years ago.
Yeah, she played it was a show about it's a dance TV show that she was in the dance group with it. I actually went to the set and interviewed her. Here's the weirdest story about this. They're filming. I'm sitting out on the stairwell on the floor, and Zendaya comes out. We sit in the stairwell, and
You told me this. Yeah.
So that's my Zendaya story. I did one of the early interviews with her. So and she was very young.
Well, you got me excited. Should I wait? How do we get tickets? Just call and try to. Can you reserve tickets?
You can go online to buy tickets at Reading Cinema.
Can you really?
Show my grandpa around the internet, Rick, will you please?
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
And you can even pick your
Please.
seat. You can.
I'm aware of all that.
You pay with it with your card. You can take care of all that ahead of time.
Well, I've never heard of local theaters being sold out. That is crazy, but I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Should we just go to the top, or do we have time to? Yeah, just go to the top. That's something because we only got 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
What else is going on? Let's fill 4 minutes.
Well, I want to talk
3
a little
minutes.
bit real quickly about one of the strangest things I've ever seen in television.
Yes.
ABC has announced its schedule for the fall.
Okay.
And this is the time of the year when, as a TV, for all my career, we would always say, look at, oh, here's what the networks are doing next year. How many new shows they're bringing on, how many old shows they're bringing back. And inevitably, by the time there'd be about 30, 40 new shows among all the networks that we had to write about.
Right.
ABC has renewed everything from last year, and they will not put on a single new show in the fall. I have never heard a network do that in my entire life.
Wow.
And I've been doing this a long time, not since the beginning, but I'm telling you, I've never heard of
No changes.
No changes. Same.
Which
same
means
show.
I guess Jimmy Kimmel's coming back.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking prime time.
Oh, it's
I'm
prime
just
time.
talking, yeah, I'm
Okay.
just talking about that prime time schedule. You know, so you got Abbott Elementary, you've got.
How is that? Do you watch that at all?
You know, my fellow critics love it a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
I really feel like I've seen Room.
Room
Welcome Back,
220.
Carter.
Great show.
Head of the Class.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, but I feel like I've seen this show a lot.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm not saying it's not. I just don't. I don't get as excited as my fellow critics about that.
Yeah.
High Potential is one of ABC shows that I love.
Yeah.
How
How are their ratings? What are they? Second, third? 'Cause
ABC?
NBC's number one, right?
CBS is number one.
CBS is number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they cater to people
All the law
our
shows.
age. You know, it's all that NCIS.
Right.
NCIS. There'll be a new NCIS New York this year. I mean, they keep doing the same stuff over and over. Everything that they do is sort of a. I mean, if you're a network that puts on Matlock, you
Yeah, no
you know what
kidding.
audience you're going after.
No kidding.
Yeah, and it's a different version of Matlock, but still, that's the draw.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
but then NBC this fall will have the Rockford Files. So
Really?
yeah.
That's crazy.
And
Is it the same format? It's Jim Garner. I mean, not
I
Jim
heard
Garner,
it's
but
going to be a sort of a twist on it. I'm going to LA to spend a day with NBC in August, and we're going to be doing interviews. And the first thing I want to ask the producer is, what is the benefit? I mean, somebody has to be our age to remember the Rockford Files.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so,
That's
what's the
mid-70s.
benefit of having? Why not just call it, Detective Guy, or give it some new name, and he can be sort of the same frumpy, grumpy, whatever. But is there that much comes out of having that name again? I don't see it.
Yeah. Jim Garner was a fascinating man.
Oh,
He
yeah.
really, truly was. People, you should Google Jim Garner and read about his life. He was a fascinating man. He was a war hero. He served in both World War II and Korea. He is responsible for Dan Blocker's career.
Oh.
Dan Blocker was a sergeant with him in the Army, and
And-
they would screw around. And he said, you really should think about acting. And when Garner got Maverick, he gave Dan Blocker a spot on that show, which led, of course, to Bonanza. And the rest is history. And I've told the story so many times. He died at Sentinel Hospital the week that my sister was born. And I was 10 years old, and I was coming up with my grandparents because my parents were obviously with my sister, just being born. And there were all these live trucks and news stations. And it was chaos at Sentinel Hospital. And I remember asking my grandparents, because again, the only time I ever made my parents and grandparents laugh was inadvertently. And I said, all of this for my sister? And they looked at each other and started laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? This is for Bettina, obviously.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
in
right.
some ways it was.
Yeah, I guess so. Rick Bentley, everybody. Thank you, sir. Go see the Odyssey and go check it out. Go read Reader's Digest version. It is a great, I read it in Latin, believe it or not. We didn't really read all through it. We read excerpts during class.
There's a classic comics version of it too. You could read if you really need.
All right. Nick Ragone joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
Current Radio, AM 1230.
That was great. Well, good. I'm so excited. So excited.
96.1
I
FM
was hoping
H1C Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
And I knew it was going to be good.
Peters
Chris Nolan,
in Washington.
I mean, he's the best.
The U.S. strikes bridges and collapses a tower at a key port in Iran.
The Trump administration has expanded its airstrike campaign against Iran
And all the time
by
they
hitting
put
more
into it,
bridges,
I knew.
electrical equipment, and collapsing a tower at a key Iranian port. The highway and
Good.
railway bridge
Outstanding.
strikes appeared
can't
aimed
wait.
at cutting off
That's a
Bandar
great
Abbas,
date movie.
Iran's main port,
Well,
from
not 3
roads
hours,
leading
but
into the Islamic Republic's central region onward to Tehran, the
I am
capital.
excited
while
about
other
the
routes
motion
are
pictures.
slow.
And when does
The US
Spider-Man
strikes
come out?
could
Is that
expand
already out?
further, potentially
weeks?
disrupting
Okay,
both
good.
the movement of military material and goods needed for Iran's 90 million people. The US aim is to pressure Tehran to ease its choke
All right,
on the
man.
Strait
Thanks
of
again.
Hormuz.
You
I'm
too.
Charles
Thank you.
Lesnar.
Have a good weekend.
Federal health officials have identified lettuce from Mexico served by Taco Bell locations across 5 U.S. states as a source of the widespread outbreak of diarrhea-causing parasite Cyclospora.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirmed the source and warned consumers not to
Good
eat shredded
news.
iceberg lettuce
Bentley
from Taco
says,
Bell restaurants in Indiana,
Odyssey is
Kentucky,
outstanding.
Michigan, Ohio, and
He
West
says, like,
Virginia. Officials have
outstanding.
identified a single supplier of the lettuce. The federal warnings to consumers didn't identify the company, but a federal official who was briefed on the investigation and not
Crazy.
authorized to discuss it told the AP it was Taylor Farms in Salinas, California. I'm Hannah Pincorni.
Millions of people in the Great Lakes, Northeast, and Mid-Atlantic
sold out
states are
till Sunday.
muddling through another day of hazy, unhealthy air as smoke from wildfires in Minnesota and Canada push south and east.
Yeah.
The nation's capital was
only have
enveloped
one
in
IMAX
eerie
theater.
haze Friday. Air quality warnings were expected to remain in effect at least through Saturday. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 406 points, the S&P lower by 76. More at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. Christian Healthcare Ministries is not another health insurance policy. If you're tired of year-long contracts and pointless restrictions, CHM offers anytime enrollment on your schedule and at your convenience. With CHM, you're paying half the cost of a traditional health insurance plan. So that puts more money back into your budget for everyday needs. Plus, you'll have access to CHM's care solutions for virtual appointments, prescription savings, surgery support, and more. My family and I joined in 2018, and it's changed our lives for the better. We love paying way less while helping other believers afford their medical bills. Take the leap of faith and see why Christians across the nation are better with CHM.
Get started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS for a 50% credit towards your first month. That's 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS.
The world may soon have a new way to transport.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
Molotov cocktails thrown into a restaurant in Bakersfield. I'm Chris Davis. Those Molotov cocktails did not do what they were intended to do, and the restaurant is still standing and is still open for business. It is Mariscos Las Islitas at Panama Lane and H Street. Police say about 1:40 Wednesday morning, someone chucked 6 Molotov cocktails in all into the place, but they only did limited damage. Police do have some surveillance video to work from, and they have not publicly discussed any possible motives. You may also remember that Luigi's was set on fire, and that was Saturday morning. Now police say the person they believe did that was caught on surveillance video and also set other fires in the area, and now police are anxious to get the cuffs on him. The person seen in the video is about 5'5", wearing a dark-colored T-shirt and blue jeans, and had a bald spot. What motive that person might have had for trying to set the restaurant on fire was not made clear by police. It's 14 years to life, plus another 4 years for 49-year-old Devon Means of Wasco, who police say got into a fight with a man at a family gathering, decided he would finish the job the next day, and went into the shed where the guy was sleeping in Wasco, pulled out a gun, and plugged him 4 times. That was in 2024. The man was hit in the thigh and the arm and the stomach, but survived. What did not survive was Means' freedom. It was at a Wednesday Ridgecrest City Council meeting that one person after the other came forward and said they would prefer that the City Council not consider having a contract with the Flock Company. You may have heard that LA recently suspended their contract with Flock cameras. Those cams are AI-powered and purport to use license plate reader technology to identify cars that may be stolen. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
To the rest of in a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Friday, 17th day of July. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at KERNradio.com. Can you all hear me? Those streaming on YouTube, because my mic is dead. And if they can still hear me, why do I wear a microphone?
Well, the way that they can still hear you is we have two mics in there, and one is hooked up to the headphones right there,
right.
so they can hear me and you through that.
So then why do we wear a mic every day? Because they can hear us anyway.
And
And why is this dead? Did you not charge this thing yesterday?
me.
Okay, good, very good. We still got lots to do in the last couple of hours. What are we talking about? Tell you about the city council wanting to make us a sanctuary city and why I'm dead set against that. And I did not. I buried the lead. We did not got into the Scrivener situation where Christina Scrivener sent a letter to KGT 17 that is providing information on this whole Scrivener situation where Zach is about to walk away completely unscathed as if it never, ever happened. It is stunning to me. Absolutely stunning. And as I mentioned, there's some old news that we haven't gotten to this week. Captain Chesley Sullenberger, the hero of the Hudson, has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. We'll talk about that. And I'll tell you why I am absolutely sick and tired and sick of Caitlin Clark, who's no longer the best player. She's not even the best player on Indiana. She really isn't. She really, truly isn't. We'll talk about that. But it's day 2 of the Open Championship, the 154th at Royal Birkdale. And boy, howdy, do we have a lot to talk about with our good friend, Nick Ragone. Well, you know what we're starting with? I mean, I had a lot of things that I wanted to talk about, but we got to start with your boy, Bryson DeChambeau, by the way, a Central Valley kid, another kid from up by Clovis. Walk us through exactly what happened on the 5th hole.
I will, but I'll preface it by saying I'm furious. I think the RNA made a horrible decision. I think it took the air out of the tournament. It's truly baffling, but essentially what happened was on the 5th hole, he blocked his tee shot way right in a hazard, kind of in that thicket hazard sort of area. And, when I was watching it live and everybody else, nobody mentioned, as he was lining up his shot, he's stepping on, you have to line up your shot. He's stepping on some of the tall grass or whatever. Right. It didn't look like he was matting down anything. I mean, it's preposterous. And he kind of chops it out, makes bogey, goes on to shoot 66, dramatically birdie 17 and 18 to get into the final group, played flawless golf. I mean, truly, coming into the week, Brandel was taking shots at him and Nick Faldo. He missed 3 major cuts. Guy turns in an epic performance, gets to 8 under and or 7 under. And the geniuses at the RNA decide to hit him with a 2-stroke penalty because they thought he tried to improve his lie. Now, it's absurd for 2 reasons. One is you have to have intent to actually, under that rule, I think it's 8.1, you have to have intent to improve your lie. Clearly, if you watch the video, there's no intent there. He's trying to line up his shot, and he's not trampling anything. And then secondly, it has to benefit your swing path.
And they admitted that it was inadvertent.
Yeah, it was inadvertent. He didn't do anything. So it's so weird. And I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but Bryson getting a 2-stroke penalty, Joaquin Neiman getting one at USGA for throwing a club at the US Open, live guys. Bryson clearly has a very tenuous relationship with the press and everybody else. And it was a bizarre decision. I think the RNA was way wrong on it. I half thought Bryson was going to pull out because he's such an emotional guy.
Were you watching that? Because the commentators, when I finally caught up to it, because I didn't see it live, but somebody did the Jumboy thing that the Major
Yeah.
League Base and read his lips, and they said
That
that
I'm not
he's
playing tomorrow.
yes, and I was like, holy Toledo.
Yeah, I mean, look, it would have been in his right to say, I'm not signing a scorecard that has me at a 68. That's an invalid scorecard. I'm going to sign for 66, and they would have DQ'd him. But I almost thought he would do that. I also thought he would too. Trump. I thought he'd call Trump and be like, hey, can you get me out of a tough spot? I'll the red card.
That's a pretty good line. That's a pretty good line.
Yeah, I thought he would. It's upsetting to me when I comment on Twitter. I just said I responded to a comment by Calcavecchia who said this is absurd. I said, yeah, I mean, I was so pumped to see him birdie 17 and 18. And, I was texting you during the round. He was striping it. I mean,
he was.
Putting on a stripe show.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to turn out to be a great final pairing and all this stuff. And, it's a bizarre ruling because clearly there's no video evidence that he did anything. In fact, it's to me, it's exculpatory in that he's clearly not I played with guys. I've seen guys who've tried to improve their lives.
Right.
And
Me
they're very
too.
meticulous in trying to improve it.
Mm-hmm.
So he was not trying to improve anything. There was no intent to improve it. He didn't improve it. It was truly baffling. And I was kind of bummed out that the guys on USA Network, were the Golf Channel folks, they were like trying to defend the RNA and all this. And I'm like, I wish somebody would have said, this is a bizarre decision. Like, it's a bad call.
Our boy Brandel Chambly said it was obvious that he committed the foul. Oh, it was obvious.
Brandel obviously hates Bryson.
Clearly.
He's made no secret of that.
Yep.
As does a lot of the golf media because Bryson's super popular. I mean, Brandel's gone as far to say like Bryson's millions of views on YouTube are all bots. Like that's how stupid he is. I mean, Bryson is super popular. He's popular with the people. He's the best thing about LIV. He draws the largest crowds everywhere, and it feels a little bit like I don't want to say again. I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but it seems a little bit punitive and odd. If that was Rory, do you think in a trillion years he would have gotten a two-stroke?
I don't think so. I do not think so.
I mean, if that was Tommy Fleetwood, do you think they're going into the Heather after the round and giving him a two-shot penalty?
No,
Not
I don't.
in a trillion years.
Yeah. How did they assess it? Did they go back and look at the video and then went back? Was he aware of it?
Video.
Was he aware of it?
Yeah, no, I'm sure he was not aware of it. And during the round, nobody told him about it. I think that one of the mealy mouths at the RNA said, it came to our attention. Somebody called it in or something. Nick Faldo probably, who knows?
Yeah.
Somebody called it in and they looked at video. And as soon as he got into the scorer's tent, they were like, hey, and they dragged him out there. And it was clear from his body language, they were clearly had made their minds up.
Yeah,
Right? Like he was already animated.
When he was out
So
there
it wasn't
arguing
like,
with him.
Let's discuss it. Yeah, I mean, it was obvious they were like, hey, you're going to get a two-stroke penalty. And
yeah,
like I said, I mean, it taints the tournament. Whoever wins now, if it's not Bryson, it taints it. Like this is, you're going to have an asterisk around it. It's a bad look for the RNA. It's a bad look for the Open Championship. I think, look, it makes Bryson even bigger. I mean, he's box office. And if he manages to win this, and he very well still can, he's playing the best golf by far, then it makes it one for the ages.
It really does. But what happens if he loses by a shot or two? Good googly.
I mean, I think it mars it. I think it really mars it.
It really does.
It's a black eye for the RNA. I mean, it's there's something about Bryson. He's box office. He's polarizing. He's all that. He seems to draw controversy wherever he goes. But he's wildly popular. He's at this weird place now where LIV goes away. He might be just a YouTube golfer who plays majors, and that bothers the golf establishment a lot.
Yeah.
It bothers the golf establishment that he enjoys himself on YouTube and he gets millions of views and he's really good at it. And it bothers them that he's playing well. He would have been the first person, if he wins this week, he'll be the first person to miss the first three cuts of majors and win the fourth one in the history of the sport.
Wow. And he does everything differently. His long clubs and his swing and his approach. And, as an ex-reporter, I always, my instinct kicks in when somebody makes a decision and then they don't want to talk to the press. You know what I'm saying? My ears kind of perk when you're like, we're not going to talk about it. We're just reading what the rule is and that's it. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. And I'm like, no. You have a responsibility and a duty to talk and answer the questions of the press. and explain exactly what happened and why it happened and how it happened and blah 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 blah. So this is just ridiculous, I thought, and not surprised that Chambly and those guys were on the RNA side at all. It's just silly.
Yeah, I mean that was completely predictable, and I do think. Now I'm reading Bryson's agent is saying Bryson is 100% serious that he is not sure he will play tomorrow. Plans to make the decision in the morning.
Wow.
He's a lot of things. He's not a cheater.
Wow. Boy, what do you think? What do you think he's going to do?
You know, I don't know. I'm reading Twitter now in real time. You know, I was so disgusted I turned it off and I was like, I'm not going to do all this. But you know,
I bet he doesn't play.
I'm curious. So I'm curious. Here's my question. Can they rescind the penalty? Like, and I'm serious. Like, can you rescind it and be like, you know, we got it wrong? I mean, to me, look, and again, I invite your listeners want to call in and discuss this because I'm very upset. I like Bryson a lot. I really do. You know that. I've always liked him. I think he's good for the game, and I like that he's a contrarian in everything he does, from the one-length clubs to the single plane swing to getting speed to YouTube. And it really feels like they were a little bit out to get him. And I just think about and Tommy Fleetwood, who I've met and I love Tommy Fleetwood. Rory, I played golf with. I love Rory. But if Rory or Tommy were in that position, there's no way, and nobody can convince me they would have given them a penalty. There's just zero chance of that.
I agree. And Fleetwood played well today too.
Played great.
Got back in the tournament.
So many good storylines going into it. You had Fleetwood playing great. You had 262s. You had Bryson, who's box office. You had Scotty. You had Cam Young, who's solid. You know, you had Fitzy's younger brother, who's playing great. It just mars the whole thing. And the other thing about the RNA, I think there's a bit of sanctimony there. It's a sanctimonious group of people, and I think they had it in their mind that they were going to give him a penalty, irrespective of what he had to say or what the video evidence is. And to me, it's clear it's not a penalty. Like I watched that video over and over and over again. You know when somebody's trying to improve their lie.
Yeah.
He was not doing it, nor did he. He didn't improve anything.
Yeah. Here's the question I had on my mind. What if something like this occurs at your golf tournament coming up in September? By the way, we need to talk because I got a great flight. I'm about to buy my ticket, and I need details on which day and boop, boop, boop. I got my guy down the hall got me a $400 round trip ticket, stopping in Denver both ways, coming back. That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
I know. My flight to St. Louis was more than that. But anyway, so let's say something like that happens at your tournament. Who makes that call? Do you?
Well, no, I don't know.
Who makes that call? You have a committee or something?
No. The PGA, we're the PGA Tour. So the Champions Tour commissioner, they have a rules official they have a head of rules at every tournament, and that person makes it. And, it's just like any other PGA Tour event. Like you have the lead rules official who makes those calls on the PGA Tour Champions or the PGA Tour. So and the RNA has a process too. It's just that for us Americans, it's an alien process the way the USG is, because they administer one real event a year. I mean, I guess they have the amateur, they have the women's open, whatever. They do a couple events a year. PGA Tour does 50 events a year. So they're really good at rules administration.
Okay.
The USGA and RNA do a handful of events that matter: women's open, the men's open, the women's amateur, the men's amateur. And so they don't do it a lot. And that's why the USGA gets so many calls wrong. I mean, think about in the last 15 years, how many decisions they've gotten wrong, the stupid penalty on DJ at the Oakmont, all the sort of letting the course get away, all the bad decisions they've made. And I think the RNA and the PGA to some extent too, because they don't do it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. The DJ thing was one of the biggest idiotic moves I've ever seen in my life.
He was at the middle of two of them. If you remember at Whistling, he got penalized for being in a sand trap
That's the one I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
That one was absurd. And then at Oakmont, he got penalized for the ball moving on the green or something, and he still won, but got penalized in the middle of the round. It was, there always seems to be controversies at these other ones, more so than the PGA Tour, because the Tour does it so often.
Yeah.
They have a better understanding of the rules and how to interpret them. And I just, I'm truly baffled by this. This was turning out, I was texting another friend during it. I said, this is turning out to be the best major of the year, because the course, even though it's playing easier, it's exciting. You can make bogeys or birdies. The field is a mix of big names and small names, but it just felt like this was going to be a good, again,
fun
we got
weekend.
Bryson in there, but it just felt like it was shaping up to be good.
Yeah,
And
I
now
agree.
it's kind of marred.
Talking with Nick Ragone, our friend from Philadelphia, about the Open Championship. All right, let's argue about the other controversy. John Rahm was seen throwing a club. I can assume they did not penalize him. I haven't heard anything. But you think he should not be penalized, and I think he should. There's a new rule that you can't throw clubs, you can't act like this, and I just think that this is the only way to get to these guys is by penalizing them from their score, and I don't think that's a part of golf. I've told you the story of the old man when I was a young kid just starting to play golf, and I threw a 3-wood, and he told me, you're ruining this. This is pre-Tiger. And I don't mean to bring race back into it, but he did say, look, we're not very welcome at golf courses. And when you act like that, that's why people don't want black folks on golf courses. And that stuck with me for the rest of my life. You shouldn't behave like that on a golf course.
You shouldn't, but at the same time, it should never be penalized. I think that was the Joaquin penalty was one of the dumbest I've ever seen. Look, I mean, Rory's thrown a bunch of clubs. They all do. It's become an art form. It's like fighting in hockey. It's part of the game. Look, I don't like it. If my kid ever did it, I'd throw him off course. But to penalize a pro for that, I think is a little bit absurd, or at least you have to have a consistent standard. Like Neiman was never warned. Here, Rahm got a warning. Okay, I guess you get a warning, but I mean, if you go back and retroactively penalize guys for throwing clubs, I mean, a lot of tournaments would change.
Tiger Woods would have lost the U.S. Open. When he hit his second shot, it was a par 5 against Rocco. Rocco's already in, waiting for Tiger on the 18th. Had his bad knee, and he was trying to lay up, and he went too far and put it in the rough, and it was in the trap, and he threw his club. He would have lost that U.S. Open.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look at it, but you're probably right. But
I know I'm right. I remember that distinctly because I remember I was watching it, and when he threw it, because we hadn't seen the shot yet, and so when he threw the club, I was like, "Oh no, he missed it." That's why I remember it so
distinctly. There's
distinctly.
been a lot of club throwing, and look, if you throw it and hit somebody or hurt somebody, I could see you, or I could see you being not invited back. Like if you did it at Augusta, they say you're not coming back. The 2-stroke penalty to me is ridiculous. It's a club throw. It's part of the game. It's like hockey. It's like dropping your gloves. I don't know. Look, I'm not defending it. I've never thrown or at least not in a long time. I haven't thrown a club because it's a lot of work to go pick it up. But
and you can break a damn expensive golf club too, Jack. These days.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I think I threw one as a kid too. My dad's like, "Yeah, that you do that again, you'll never be playing." So I'm not a big fan of that. Look, I've chucked balls into the water after rinsing
I've done
them.
that. I've done that.
So where does it draw the line? Because under the USGA rule, it's like unsportsmanlike. So if you rinse one and then putt out and throw it back in, is that a 2-shot penalty now? That was weird because Neiman came back and nearly won the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he played spectacular golf, and so that was bizarre.
Yeah. I will leave you with this off topic. Today is the anniversary where Joe DiMaggio went to Cleveland and did not get a base hit, breaking his 56-game hitting streak.
And then he went on 16 more.
17 more, as a matter of fact. You're right. What is the most impressive baseball record? Is that it? Is that unbreakable?
That's breakable. I mean, if you get on a good run, I think that's pretty breakable. Look, there's so many great baseball records. We talked some about yesterday. I don't think you'll see another 300-game winner. I don't think you'll see a 30-game winner in a season again.
No.
I told you in 1985, John Tudor had 10 complete game shutouts. Max Scherzer's had 5 in his career. There's so many records now that'll never be touched. Denny McLain winning 31, I want to say. Did he win 31, 68?
Yep.
That'll never be touched again. Look, DiMaggio's streak is a testament to his consistency. I'm shocked that hasn't. I remember Pete Rose, his 44, and I remember Paul Molitor doing 39. And I remember when they got kind of close, that was like national news.
Pete's that summer was so much fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Pete's 44 was a big deal. So, I don't see DiMaggio's being touched, but, there's so many baseball records that, particularly pitching records that just are never, ever going to be touched again.
The guy that threw 2 consecutive no-hitters, that'll never be broken.
Johnny Vandermeer, that'll never be broken. You want to get 2 complete game shutouts. I mean, I think I want to say there's been Nolan Ryan had one year where he threw, I think, 306 innings.
That'll
in a
never
year.
happen. That'll never happen.
I mean, now you don't even do 200. Like,
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, he had 4 out of 6 years. I want to say Ryan did where he threw 300 innings. I mean, stuff like that. That's like from another planet. Like you're never gonna. Ryan holds the record for 383 strikeouts. You'll never, ever. That will never get touched. DiMaggio's streak will get touched before. I mean, somebody could get hot, break DiMaggio's streak to with 383 guys in a season. That means you have to like pitch like 20 complete games.
And that just.
I mean, that's just never, ever going to happen.
No,
I mean,
the coaching staffs and the management won't let it happen. Even if you can
I tell
physically
you,
do
in
it.
68, Gibson threw as many innings as he could possibly do in the number of starts because he had more than one game where he threw 11 innings. So like that'll never. I mean, you're never ever going to see a guy if he makes 35 starts. 35 times 9 is whatever, 310, whatever it is. Throw that number of innings, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if you throw 175 innings now, you're a workhorse.
Yeah, crazy.
I mean, that's kind of laughable.
Well, no matter what happens, we're going to call you on Monday. But particularly if Bryson pulls out, we're definitely
If Bryson
talking
pulls out, man, it will be epic.
It will be, and
if
I think he will.
If he wins, it'll be epic. I don't think he will, but if he does, I won't be surprised. I think he's a unique character, and I think this was, again, an epically bad decision.
I agree 100%. Appreciate you taking the time. We'll wrap to you on Monday.
Thanks, Pop.
All right, thank you. We'll see you, man.
All
Take
right,
care. Nick Ragone, quick timeout. Not a lot of time before we get to the bottom of the hour. It's the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. And we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Central Valley, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
The tutoring session from Jennifer and Ryan Van Alstyne continue. They are the owners of Adaptive Networks that provide all of our IT services. And why did we turn to the folks right across the street from us? Because of their customer service, their reliability, and their flat-out competence. We had been struggling with our IT for years. If you're a business owner, you should be listening to these segments that we do on Wednesdays with Van Alstyne's, because one of the segments focuses on what you should be looking for and some of the red flags that you should be seeing as well when dealing with your IT. If you've got an IT company that's coming out time after time after time and just going over the same problems over and over again, then I suggest you pick up the phone and call the folks at Adaptive Networks today. 661-241-0638. That's 661-241-0638. Join American General Media in teaming up with the best IT team in Kern County, and that's the good folks at Adaptive Networks. Again, their number is 661-241-0638, or hit them online at adaptive-net.com.
Hey, folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to The Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
I think Nick in some sense intimidates me because I always ask him stupid questions. Like the tournament director doesn't make the rules decisions. That was the dumbest question I've ever asked in my life. I don't even know what would make me think that. Yeah, like the tournament director comes down in a suit and says, "Yep, no, that's a penalty." Of course, they're at USGA officials. I don't know what the hell I was thinking about, and I just broke my glasses. Well, every talk show host, every ESPN show, everybody on the Golf Channel is digging this because this will be the talk of the tournament, the talk of the weekend. No matter what Bryson does tomorrow, whether he plays or he doesn't play. He did go hit balls after he went at it with these officials, but as Nick said, he's going to make the call in the morning. And I think I'm going to stay up late. I'm not playing golf tomorrow. I'm playing on Sunday with Swaim and the boys. So I think I'm going to stay up late and watch because it starts at like 11 o'clock our time. Remember, they're like 9 hours, 8 hours ahead of us. But I don't have Peacock, so I think I have to wait till 1 when it starts to come on NBC. In the meantime, we're heading into the back half of the hour. Christina Scrivener has given us new information on that infamous night in Tehachapi. I'll share that with you when we come back. This is the Ralph Bailey Show. I would stick around if I you.
News. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Millions of people in the Great Lakes, Northeast, and Mid-Atlantic states are muddling through another day of unhealthy air from uncontrolled wildfires in Minnesota and Canada. The nation's capital was enveloped in an eerie haze Friday. Major League Baseball's Cleveland Guardians postponed their game against the Pittsburgh Pirates in Ohio. Air quality warnings are expected to remain in effect at least through Saturday in parts of the U.S. President Trump says Darlene Graham, the sister of the late Lindsey Graham, has his support to run for a full term to replace her brother in the U.S. Senate. Graham is serving the remaining months of her late brother Lindsey Graham's Senate term, but she's weighing a possible run for a full term. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 406 points, the S&P lower by 76. More details at srnnews.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
17-year-old who died when the e-scooter that he was riding was hit from the back by a Chevy SUV Friday night just after 11:30 has been ID'd as David Vargas Vasquez of Lost Hills. That happened on Lost Hills Drive south of King Street. Police say the person who hit him stayed there and cooperated, and they do not believe drugs or alcohol were a factor in that wreck. It was at a Wednesday Ridgecrest City Council meeting that one person after the other came forward and said they would prefer that the City Council not consider having a contract with the Flock Company. You may have heard that LA recently suspended their contract with Flock. Those cameras are AI powered and purport to use license plate reader technology to identify cars that may be stolen. Some people believe it's kind of Orwellian. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries in Kern County. Are you looking for a doctor who truly listens? Someone who cares about your health and respects your time with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations? Well, it may be time to learn about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA partners with most Medicare Advantage health plans, giving you access to a large, community-based network of outstanding physicians and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Local doctors, trusted hospitals, personalized care. Medicare Advantage plans offer benefits beyond original Medicare, but understanding your options for 2026 can feel overwhelming. That's where we can help. Call 661-554-4544 today to learn more about your Medicare Advantage choices. Our knowledgeable team is ready to help you understand your coverage options and make confident decisions about your care. Again, that's 661-554-4544. Get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez.
Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate to all of you my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his longstanding and most experienced and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon several months before turning 65. Thank you.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298. Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask like 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
The beautiful, the stunning Donna Summer. Just Google movie. I had a big crush on that gal. Big, tall, beautiful black woman. You want to know how weird I am?
You asking me or like I don't know.
It's kind of a rhetorical question, actually.
You asking them like they don't know.
I actually think I can taste the difference between Dasana and Aquafina.
Oh, you're a water snob.
I really am. I am. I'm an Aquafina man.
You're a water snob.
I'm an Aquafina
You might as well
man.
just go with Fiji.
I don't mind Fiji. I don't mind Fiji. I don't mind Fiji. But this Dasana is nasty.
How you feel about Arrowhead?
I used to have a, I used to have a, you remember I used to have a Arrowhead water cooler in my house.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I sure did. I don't know whatever happened to that. I really don't. Did I have that in my old apartment? It never made it over.
Probably didn't make it over.
I don't think it made it over. I don't think it made it over. Christina Scrivener threw a new log on the whole Scrivener fire. She, the news peg was that Zach Scrivener, our supervisor, excuse me. And I have to retell the story because we have new folks in our audience that are in our community, and there are people that are listening on kernradio.com in different areas of the country that may not be familiar with the story. So excuse me if I follow from the beginning. Zach Scrivener was a fairly well-respected, I think it's safe to say a very well-respected supervisor who kind of climbed the chain up the ladder from, I think he was on the city councilman or school board, city council, yeah. And he's one of the county supervisors. And on an infamous day up in Tehachapi, he is, I don't know, do I have to say alleged? Since there were no charges brought against him sexually. Let me quote the sheriff. Let me quote the sheriff's department that he sexually assaulted his daughter, and a fight ensued amongst his 2 boys. Zach was knifed because he was flailing around with a pistol. I'm assuming, the report was he was going to shoot himself. He was on drugs. He was, I think liquor was involved. And then we found out later that he's had a serious drinking problem. And at some point the question is, why was he with those kids alone? That's one of the questions. Well, come to find out, according to Christina Scrivener, he was not alone. Let me read you what Christina Scrivener, his estranged wife, because I don't think they're officially divorced yet, wrote to KGT 17. Zach Scrivener abused his own children. He did this in front of his mother, Kathy Scrivener. Now, I don't know about y'all. I don't know about you, Mr. Flores, because you do more research than I do. But that's the first time I've heard that. Was that the first time you'd heard it?
Yeah, I never done.
I mean, we knew that Kathy Scrivener was on scene because the sheriff claimed she committed a crime. The sheriff says that she would not allow the children to speak to the police. She is a mandated reporter on our school board, A, and B, you can't do that. That'd be called a crime. And shame on every school board member who hasn't taken her to task for this or suggested that she remove herself as a mandated reporter, remove herself from the school board. The only good news is she'll never get elected along with her sister, dog catcher, again. Although now I'm fearing that Cynthia Zimmer may get reelected because she may run unopposed. When I've been screaming that she was never going to get elected again, I forgot where I am, where elected officials actually run unopposed. No, I've never seen that in my life. city council members, DAs. The sheriff normally gets challenged, but I just never lived anywhere where elected officials go unopposed. Nevertheless, let me continue reading this. Zach Scrivener abused his own children. He did this in front of his mother, Kathy Scrivener. She called her sister, Cynthia Zimmer, our DA. With his well-connected family, laws designed to consider criminals above victims, he has been spared any accountability. It is shameful. And this is the most powerful line. This is really well written. Every decent person knows it. And that's the God's honest right there, Jack. Every decent person knows that this whole thing has been one of the single greatest injustices I've seen in the 34 years. Holy crap, 34 years that I've lived here. I just realized that.
Just hit you, huh?
I just did the math. 92, that's 34. I've lived here longer than Chris Burdick's been alive.
Well,
I've lived here like 3 times longer than I lived in LA. I'm having a nervous breakdown if you do not recognize this. Anyway, back to a radio show. This is huge. This is huge. I did not know that she was present. And now, you know what I'm tempted to do? Have you ever talked to the sheriff about the ins and outs of what happened up there that day? Yeah, me too. Kind of, sort of, but not really. Like now I'm tempted to get Sheriff Youngblood in and walk us through this thing moment by moment. Like take us from where your deputy showed up, who was there, who talked to whom. I mean, how did this go unreported? The Kathy Scrivener, a mandated reporter, was at the house when he got knifed, apparently, when the row between the boys was I don't know, I was taken aback by this. Am I being too hyperbolic about this? I mean, I was floored when I saw this morning. And as I said, I've got kind of an inside connection with my good friend Lauren Skidmore, and I'm on my hands and knees begging her to, because I know Christina would never come in here by herself. I know Christina. I've met her a couple of times. I don't know her that well. I met her at events. You know how you run into people, particularly when she was married to Zach, because I knew Zach very well. I almost went to Arizona with Zach and Burton and Andy. Who's the Andy? Big Republican Andy Stanley? Andy Stanley? I don't know. Why am I bringing Andy in here? Andy's like, why would you bring me up?
And he's like, I don't know, Zach. Zach who?
Zach who? Exactly.
Arizona, no.
I was going to go to spring training with them like 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, I guess, because this has been like 2 years now. But this thing, you know, and then to see the AG's office appeal the mental diversion program. Look, you got your ass kicked. H.A. Sala, there's a reason that he's the best attorney in this town, the best criminal defender in this town, perhaps in the state. And it's the reason that I've always said, if you ever hear me on television, Ralph Bailey's been accused of a felony. My first call is to Humberto Sala. You can bet on that, Jack.
And then you realize you can't afford him, and then your second call is.
My second call is Curtis Floyd, my dear friend. Do it pro bono. You're absolutely right.
Because I don't know how Zach's affording it, but.
How much for a retainer? Thank you, Humberto. I appreciate you. What? That is another good question. You know, I wish I had a bunch of dough because I would retire. There are so many stories in this community that if you just spent like 2 years, you become Olivia LaVoice. That's what she did. She took one story and has made a career out of it. Literally, the what is it called? The Three Amigos, the Three Musketeers. What was it called?
The Bakersfield Three.
The Bakersfield Three. She's made a career out of this. She made a podcast out of it. She's brilliant. What have I told you journalism is all about? How many times have you heard me tell you what journalism is all about? You know what it's all about? Relationships. It's not about digging through files. It's about going to the clerk every single day and saying, is there anything going on? No. See you tomorrow. And therefore, they see you working hard. So when something does come up and they shouldn't be telling anybody, They trust you because you've shown how hard you work. Because the TV people don't show up every day. It's the print people that can do beats and they can, check in with this every single day. When you do TV, you kind of have a beat in some newsrooms, but you're doing a feature story one day, you're doing a death story the next day, you're doing a live shot of an accident on the freeway. You can't really do a beat and you can't really connect relationships the way newspaper people can. And that's really what it's about, where they trust you. And that's exactly what's happened here. With Olivia, she created a relationship with those three moms and they spoke to her exclusively and she ran with it. It became popular. She made a podcast out of it. She's been on national television talking about it. And it doesn't hurt to have a really good story, but we have several really good stories. I forget the other one that I was thinking about delving into. The boys, the California City boys missing. If you just spent a year or two just interviewing people running around California City and trying to get to the bottom of that, Bakersfield, one of the reasons that so many of our reporters, TV reporters, are so successful is we are a hotbed of stories. One of the things that I love to do when I go out of town is watch local news. I particularly do that when I go to Vegas. And Vegas is a pretty good market. And I call it Bakersfield East because there are just so many people that have left here and gone to, you remember the black girl? She got fired. The one that got the DUI and she was buck naked in her car. I forget her name. It started with an A. Beautiful black girl. I found out when last time I was in Vegas, she got whacked. And not because she got a DUI and she was found buck naked.
No, that won't get you fired these days?
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. But she got fired like a year later. Yeah. It's a funny business. It's a funny business. That lucky cop, though. Can you imagine? That lucky cop. She was a gorgeous girl. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to remember. 29?
Yeah. No. 17.
17.
Beautiful, stunningly beautiful girl. And her name started with an A. Somebody will chime in here in a minute. But that's what it's about. Creating relationships. And she did. And she made a fortune out of this thing. And I'll tell you, there's somebody is going to write a book about this Scrivener thing or do something on it. A screenplay. It'd be a great motion picture or TV movie, starting back in his college days when he was selling weed, it'd be a great story. And the family and Kathy and just the inside politics of Bakersfield, it'd be a great story. It really would be. And just the whole depiction of what happened that night, with the boys fighting him and the knife. Zach took a knife in the back. You guys do remember that, right? And just the whole thing and the controversy and the DA. It's just so many elements. It'd be a great, great story. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. And then coming up in the 5, I've got some god-awful news. I'm just so sad. I love this guy so much. I don't know if you guys have seen Sully. Have you seen it? Clint Eastwood picture about Tom Hanks plays Sully Sullenberger.
The movie, The Landing on the Hudson? No, but I got to see him speak at the Bakersfield Business Conference.
Oh, yeah?
A few years back.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he's got Alzheimer's. 75 years old.
So he doesn't remember it either.
You ain't right. You ain't right. Do you know what he said his first reason he went to the doctor? He got lost going home.
I was say he couldn't remember.
Can you imagine? I can't find my house. He had to call his wife to get home.
Well, at least he remembered her.
No kidding. Well, no, he didn't. He just had it on. He didn't remember her number. He just had the picture.
He said wife.
He remembered her name. Yeah, exactly. Wife. Hit that.
I wonder if that's mine.
Yeah. And then Mr. Flores and I will take the New York Times quiz. Go to NewYorkTimes.com. You can take it with us, or you can just listen in as well. We'll do all of that before we get out of here. And I'm sick and tired of Caitlin Clark, and I'll tell you why. Sick and tired and sick. I'm just through with this woman. Quick timeout. We're coming right back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday right here on Newstalk 96.1, AM 1230. And we stream live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
The lovely ladies at KC Steakhouse are eager to get back to work. And where would you rather be if you're trying to beat the heat and have one of the best steaks you'll have in Kern County? One of the single most iconic restaurants in Bakersfield, KC Steakhouse. And as I try to stress to you guys, of course, the ribeye is one of the favorites. I'm kind of a filet guy in New York on occasion, but not everybody, particularly when you go in large groups for birthdays and anniversaries. I just ran into the Paula family celebrating their son Tim's birthday, and it's not everybody is into red meat. That's why Chef Daniel has advanced the menu. I've told you about the chicken breast that I get, the Ralph Bailey. It's covered in a mushroom and spinach creamy sauce, the different fish dishes, the halibut, the swordfish, the mahi-mahi, and even the blackened cod, which is something new that they put on the menu as well. And the lobster mac and cheese, the fettuccine alfredo with chicken. Are you kidding me? It is a vast menu. Chef Daniel does an incredible job. Don't forget about live music Tuesday through Saturday. And don't forget about the Stockyard next door. It's KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Get ready, Bakersfield. It's back and bigger than ever. The Walker Lewis Rents Tent Sale is happening Saturday, July 18th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you do not want to miss it. We're talking massive savings on everything you need. Sofa sets starting at $99. Bedroom sets starting at $79. Mattresses at $40. Dinette sets starting at $55. We also have hundreds of kitchen essentials like linens, glassware, flatware, vacuums, and so much more at low, low prices. If you've been waiting for unbelievable prices on both new and slightly used products, this is your moment. Bring your truck, bring a friend, and bring your wallet because major credit cards and cash are accepted. And these deals won't last long. Find us at 4501 Ride Street off District Boulevard and Gosford Road. The Walker Lewis Rents Tent Sale, Saturday, July 18th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Be there early because once it's gone, it's gone.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Tall and tan, young and lovely. The girl from Ipanema goes walking. She passes each one, she passes those. Oh. I said when she walks, she's like a samba swing so cool, swing so. When she passes each one, she passes those. Yeah. I said, oh, but I watch her so sadly. Mr. Lou Rawls,
I said, how can I tell her I love her? I said, oh, yes, yes, yes. I would give my heart gladly. Every day as she walks to the sea, you know, she looks straight ahead. She won't look at our feet all and say, Eight 537 842 KERN. Before we go to the board, let's run over to the chat board and see what's going on in here, what you all are talking about. Please stand by. I keep forgetting I'm 64 in about a couple of weeks. 64. And did I tell you I was paying for some vodka the other day, about a week ago, at the gate, the Uber guy, and I just happened to look on my license plate or the ID card, and on the top it reads, senior citizen. I'm really struggling with it. 70 is going to be a bitch, because you're old. I'm old now, but 70 is like, he could kick any day. He could go, nobody would be shocked if I checked out at 70. You know what I'm saying? And that's like 6 years away.
16, you mean? 16. 16 years away.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
See, and now I look so old, I can't even lie, because then it's like, well, damn, if you're 50, you look a mess. You know what I'm saying? Now I actually have to give my age. So they say, well, you don't look too bad for 64. With the turkey neck and the jowls. I'm telling you, if I could just get a little plastic surgery, JR, this is all I need right here. Just a little tight, just right there. See that? See the difference? That's all. Just get rid of those little jowls right there that says 63, 63. And the neck thing, you can't do anything about that. You know what the women do, don't you? I'd have to start wearing an ascot. That's what the women do. They start wearing scarves. Swear to God, you look at most older women, they wear scarves. I'd have to wear an ascot, and I'd look ridiculous. Let's see what you people are talking about. I forgot my glasses. I'm 63. Stella says, I disagree with Rick's comment regarding young Washington. If you're a history buff, she's quoting him, young Washington is outstanding and offers more to a non-history buff. A history buff would find it entertaining but basic. Well, I'm a history buff, and I don't really know much about George's young life. I know that he was a terror in the French and Indian War, and that's what led to him being respected as a military guy. And I know he was a horrible military leader, but I don't know much about George other than him chopping down a cherry tree. I don't know much about George. Well, who would study young George? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said, who would even make a movie about young George? Because his life after the French and Indian Wars, when the beginning of the what do they call it? The revolution is much more fascinating, if you ask me, because again, I don't think most Americans do know he literally was a horrible general, but he was smart enough to know what everybody's doing to us, time's on our side. They got to come across this whole big thing called the Atlantic. And if I can just hold out and keep these guys healthy, because a lot of the men died from, disease. And he realized if I can just hit them here and do guerrilla warfare and just hang on and be a pain in the ass of King George III, we're going to win. And they did. One of the great stories of George Washington is the night that they won and how much booze they drank that night. It's a funny story because these guys drank enough booze for 100 men. Cotton wrote, which word in the English language beginning with P is singular until an S is added to the end and it becomes a plural, but reverts back to a singular word if another letter S is added? I stupidly said possess, which is stupid because if you move the S, you don't have a word. And the answer is prince. Princess is singular, but princesses is plural. If he hit it in the fairway, he wouldn't have had that problem, writes Gabe.
That's funny.
He stomped all over that grass during his hissy fit. It's justified. Well, the second time you see him in the woods, that's after the round. He didn't stomp around. He just got behind his ball. But difference of opinion. We headed to the 5. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. I would stick around if I you.
Current Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A member of President Trump's cabinet says he is ready to go after voter fraud.
A day after President Trump revived falsehoods about voter fraud, Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen talked about election fraud.
If you are an illegal or you're voting illegally, we will hunt you down. We will find you.
In a White House briefing, Mullen also threatened fines, even prison time, for state election officials who refuse to hand over sensitive voter data. Mullen's comments come as a federal judge blocked the use of DHS's updated system, citing voter privacy and the fact it can result in the wrongful purging of eligible voters. President Trump is trying to use his 2020 loss to Joe Biden to justify his push to pass a strict voter ID bill. Ed Donahue, Washington.
The flooding devastation continues in Texas.
Downpours dumped more than 2 feet of rain across parts of South and Central Texas over the past week, swelling rivers, cutting off communities, and washing out roads. In Uvalde, Texas, where a section of bridge collapsed due to flooding on the Nueces River, Governor Greg Abbott thanked responders who rushed to rescue hundreds of people trapped by high waters.
The state is going to work with local officials to expedite things like debris removal and to accelerate the rebuilding process.
As the water recedes, residents like Sandra Gomez are returning to a messy cleanup.
The mud is all throughout the house.
I'm Jennifer King.
Federal health officials have identified lettuce from Mexico served by Taco Bell locations across 5 U.S. states as a source of the widespread outbreak of diarrhea-causing parasite Cyclospora. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warned consumers not to eat shredded iceberg lettuce from Taco Bell restaurants in Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 406 points, the S&P lower by 76. More at townhall.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-2085. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-2085 or biglou.com.
AI once again sinks the markets.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
Molotov cocktails thrown into a restaurant in Bakersfield. I'm Chris Davis. Those Molotov cocktails did not do what they were intended to do, and the restaurant is still standing and is still open for business. It is Mariscos Las Islitas at Panama Lane and H Street. Police say about 1:40 Wednesday morning, someone chucked 6 Molotov cocktails in all into the place, but they only did limited damage. Police do have some surveillance video to work from, and they have not publicly discussed any possible motives. You may also remember that Luigi's was set on fire, and that was Saturday morning. Now police say the person they believe did that was caught on surveillance video and also set other fires in the area, and now police are anxious to get the cuffs on him. The person seen in the video is about 5'5", wearing a dark-colored T-shirt and blue jeans, and had a bald spot. What motive that person might have had for trying to set the restaurant on fire was not made clear by police. It's 14 years to life, plus another 4 years for 49-year-old Devon Means of Wasco, who police say got into a fight with a man at a family gathering, decided he would finish the job the next day, and went into the shed where the guy was sleeping in Wasco, pulled out a gun, and plugged him 4 times. That was in 2024. The man was hit in the thigh and the arm and the stomach, but survived. What did not survive was Means' freedom. It was at a Wednesday Ridgecrest City Council meeting that one person after the other came forward and said they would prefer that the City Council not consider having a contract with the Flock Company. You may have heard that LA recently suspended their contract with Flock cameras. Those cams are AI powered and purport to use license plate reader technology to identify cars that may be stolen. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
To the rest of in a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's going to give you what you want. Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm going to make them an offer he can't refuse.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast, final hour of the week after 5 days of outstanding radio broadcasting right here on News Talk 96.1, AM 1230, and we're streaming live at KERNradio.com. Before we start the 5 o'clock hour, got a couple of home issues. I got a package today that has, it was a set of headphones. And I was like, ooh. And they're not mine, but it has my address on it. And I didn't order them. And I only have like 7 neighbors. What do I do? Because it's for a guitar. There's like a cord, but they're great headsets. And there's only like one young guy in my complex. Like my next door neighbor's moved. The girl upstairs that has her lights on all day. By the way, she has a boyfriend now. Yeah, I'm that neighbor. And it's the funniest thing. This is the reason that I know it's the boyfriend. Not only is he showing up like on the daily, but I'm weird. You got to understand that. That's the premise. I'm a very strange man. And my windows, first thing I do when I come home, just like the first thing I do when I come in here, is open the drapes. Literally, the first thing I do when I come home is drop my bag in my bedroom and open my drapes. And then on days like tomorrow, where I probably may not even leave the house if I'm not playing golf, which I don't think I am, and just sit around and watch the British Open, I'd sit and smoke my THC, and sometimes that makes me wander, and I just look outside. And so all she wears, I don't know, should I be putting my neighbor on blast? She's not listening. All she wears is T-shirts and jeans. Like literally. I've never seen her outside of T-shirts and jeans. This boy starts coming, she's got a new wardrobe. Swear to God. She's wearing like these cute shorts and like different tops. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just like observing human nature. I mean, like, I'm serious. Like literally, T-shirts and jeans. She's lived in our complex for about a year. And literally, T-shirts and jeans year round. Every now and again, she's got some jean shorts. Yeah, I'm that neighbor. But now she's got like really cute shorts and tops and the boyfriends. I thought it was cute. They're like young and I don't know. I do the same thing when I'm dating somebody. I step up my wardrobe just a skosh, but
the package doesn't have a name on it.
Doesn't have a name on it. And it's kind of says my address. It's my number address, but it's 23rd Street. I don't live on 23rd Street. I live off of 23rd Street. So I got to go to the young guy who's probably it is and say, these yours? Don't I? No?
I don't know.
That's why I didn't know what to do. Because they're killer headphones. I'd love these things are rancid. I'd love to have a brand new headset.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he's got a dog. I'd hate to have to knock on his door. He's got a big dog that I'm kind of afraid of, to be honest with you. But what would you do? Keep him? I mean, I can show. I can say it's got my address on. Well, it's not really my address though. I don't live on 23rd Street.
Well, is there a 23rd Street with that address?
No.
Have you looked?
Nobody lives
No.
on 23rd Street. You know where I live. That S is 23rd
There's
Street.
no 20. There's got
Nobody lives on 23rd Street. There are no homes on 23rd Street.
What's the number? Don't, well, I was gonna say give me hand signals, but they can see you on YouTube now too, so that doesn't work anymore. We used to be able to do that with phone numbers.
I don't care if these people know. They know where I
They
live.
know exactly where you live.
2311.
23 what?
But 2311. But it says 23rd
That's what
Street.
I'm gonna type in.
Nobody lives on 23rd Street. There's a barbershop. There's a massage parlor at that S that you make on 23rd Street. There's D, there's F, there's Pine, there's all the Bird Streets, but nobody lives on 23rd Street. Right?
So there's a 11 23rd Street.
There is a 2311 23rd Street?
I don't know. Looks like it.
Well, I'm not walking down the street. If it's somebody in my complex, I'll give it back. But if it's somebody down, I ain't walking to their house. I may not use them because that's stealing, but I ain't giving them back. I may not use them because that's technically stealing, but I ain't going out of my way to give. Now, if it's somebody in my complex, I'll give them back because I wouldn't want to do that to my neighbor. If I see the guy, I'm not going to go knock on his door. But if I see the guy, I'm going to ask him.
That's crazy. I didn't know 23rd Street kind of
What?
doubles.
What do you mean doubles?
So you know how essentially 23rd and 24th
are like the same at one point.
Right.
And then it becomes 23rd.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
Right.
Very weird.
Well, just before that, though, if you go down B Street towards downtown,
yeah,
the first street just off of there between B and C, I think there's like two houses there. It's called 23rd also.
Really? Is one of them 2311?
It looks like there's a 2304.
Good. No, that's not what something. It's not something. And it was right in front of my door. They left it right in front of my door. And that's what I'm afraid of. If it's somebody else's material, because they take pictures. So I couldn't even claim, I don't know how I got these, because they take a picture.
And when they deliver it?
So they don't get accused of not delivering it.
Who delivered it?
I have no idea. I opened the door. I was coming to work. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
How do you know somebody didn't send it to you? What if it's like a gift from somebody?
I thought that too. I thought maybe somebody from the station.
Well, that's far.
That was crazy.
Man.
I quickly dismissed that theory.
I was going to say that's like saying a woman sent them to you.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I quickly dismissed that.
Realistic.
But I was like, when it's a headset, you think it's got to be somebody in the industry who knows what I do. And then I was like, no, not really.
Secret admirer?
I doubt it.
Early birthday gift?
I thought about that too. I swear to God, I thought about that. But then there's a cord there's a pamphlet that has something to do with a guitar. I'll bring in the pamphlet, show it to you. I really will. Because I'd like to keep them, but I don't want to be accused of stealing. I've never stolen anything in my life. That's not true. I've stolen one thing in my entire life. My entire life, I've stolen one thing. And it was a TV guide. And my father literally made me get on my bike because we drove to the store. And I was in line with my dad. I got addicted to crossword puzzles with the TV guide. You got to be over 50, 55 to know what I'm talking about. But there used to be a guy, for young people, there used to be a magazine that would come out every week and it would tell you what's on television. And on the very back page was a Hollywood crossword puzzle. And I could fill it out in like 30 minutes. And so I'm in line with my dad and I'm doing it because they sell it like candy up in the front of the cash register. And so I picked it out and I was signing it and doing the thing. And we walked out and we're about halfway home and and I go, I finished it. And I was like trying to get some love from my dad. I finished it. We're not even home yet. And I finished the crossword puzzle. And he looked at me and he said, did you pay for that? Because the magazine was like literally, you want to know how old I am? The TV guide when I was 9 years old was 25 cents. And canned sodas were a dime. I'm not kidding. God, I'm old. I'm about to have a nervous breakdown.
It's like it all hit you today.
It really did. The senior citizen on my ID and the fact that I'm about to be 64 in a couple weeks. But he literally made me ride my bike to the Alpha Beta and pay the woman $0.25. I'm like, Dad, it's $0.25. It's not the point. I'm not going to have no thieves in my house. You know I'm not a thief. I said it in my head. I didn't say it to my father. I said, Dad, I didn't steal it. Yeah, you did. Go back and pay the woman. Like, God dang. What'd you say? Nothing. I hate him. Who you got?
Gordon.
Gordon, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
All right, Ralph.
Yes, sir.
If you get a package like it, you don't need to you don't need to run about, looking for the person.
Yeah.
Just leave it at your house. Whoever ordered it, if they don't get it, and they took a picture, they'll trace it and they'll come back to you.
Okay, so if it's the guy in my complex, he'll come knock on my door and ask for it.
Yeah. If he doesn't get it, he'll notify Amazon, and he'll tell them I didn't get the package. Then they'll come back to you.
Okay.
Another thing, if you get a package sent to you by Amazon and you didn't order it and it's in your name, do not open it. Send it back. It's a scam.
Okay, well, my name wasn't on it. There's no name on it. It's just the address.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, I just set it aside when they come to you. Say I didn't know what to do with it. I opened it by mistake, and
that's a good idea. That's a good idea, and I'll leave it right at my coffee table because that's right at the door. And when he knocks on my door, I'll be like, I got it right here. That's a great idea. That really is. Good advice, Gordon. Thank you.
All right.
All right, man. Take care.
By the way,
yes.
I sent in a text about the aging.
About the what?
I sent in a text about your aging comment.
Oh, yeah.
See, when I worked as a substitute teacher at the high school,
yeah,
they give the students a little box lunch for $5. Well, when you hit 60, at those senior center places, you get the same style box lunch for $3.
Good to know, Gordon. Good to know. All right, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right, guys.
All right, take care. Have a good weekend. Let's go. That's funny. Yeah, I was coming back from Jeet's office once. It was about a year or two ago, and I was going to walk home, and I stopped at the Denny's, and the menu was upside down, and it was like 55 and above, and I was like, oh, I forgot, I qualify. And the other thing, when I got my ID, when I had to get my new ID, with the bear on it so you can fly, totally free for us senior citizens. There's a little love for us old folks. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, I'll tell you why doctors think that Chesley Sullenberger, you know him as Captain Sully, the hero on the Hudson, why they believe he has contracted Alzheimer's at such a late age. Apparently, you don't contract it at 75. There are signs of it early. You might be full-blown by 75, but it doesn't normally start at 75. I'll tell you why doctors believe he has it. Plus, I'm going to go off on Caitlin Clark, and if we have time, Mr. Flores and I will take the New York Times quiz this week. Should be pretty easy with all that is going on, and we'll recap our top story of the day. All that's coming up in the next 45 minutes. You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 AM 1230, where we stream live at kernradio.com.
You want to do a mess maker?
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, obviously we'll have highlights from the world's biggest human foosball game. We got that. We got the hot list. We got America's Job Center, help people find jobs. We got news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
It must be nice to be able to retire like Serena Williams and then say, I'm unretired. But for most of us, that's not the case. When we hang it up, that's about it. That's why you've got to be prepared for the late fourth quarter in your lives. And that's why I always stress that the smartest financial move I have ever made happened about 10 years ago when I became a client at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. And the other thing I always remind you about, I've turned on colleagues here at American General Media to Daniel, and they could not be happier about what Daniel has done for them financially. Call Daniel Petrie at 395-9400, 395-9400, or just tune in on Thursdays. He appears here every Thursday at 4:30, and his office is located right on the corner of 21st and Oak. Daniel Petrie and the folks at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice or a solicitation for advisory services by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Incorporated, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The program host is a client and receives compensation and other financial benefits in connection with this advertisement, creating a conflict of interest. Experiences discussed may not be representative of other clients.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppable Speeds to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's two things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just one dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Nothing. You gotta have something if you want to be with me. Song always reminds me of my childhood. I don't know if my parents were extremely cool or just bad parents, but they took me to Vegas twice when I was a teenager. Actually, they took me 3 times. I think the time that I got in trouble, my sister was with. No, I don't think it was just me. They would just take me. They took me once when I was 12, and I got in. That was one of the 5 or 6 ass whoopings I got. I've told the story 100 times. We were at the Sahara. It's where they always stay. It's where I always stayed. I used to always stay there. I don't stay there anymore. Now I mostly stay at the Strat or the Golden Nugget or the Four Queens downtown. But and the Sahara had a quiz machine. You know, one of those machines. They used to have them in bars all the time, where you could pick a category: general knowledge, sports, history, and you put in 50 cents and you test yourself, blah, blah, blah. Well, I have always, even when I was 12 years old, loved stuff like that. And my parents were going out. It was the 3 of us. And my mother said, do not leave the room under any circumstance. I said, Mom, what am I going to do? I'm just going to order a hamburger and a milkshake, and I'm going to watch television. Okay, good. I'm serious, Ralph. Do not leave the room. And they went to see a show. And when I heard the bell go downstairs, I waited like 3 or 4 minutes, and I got the spare key, and I went downstairs and I played the quiz game for about a half an hour. And when I came back, what happened was my mother forgot her purse and she came back to an empty room. So when I came back upstairs after playing the game, thinking my parents were enjoying Sammy Davis, my mother was there with security and the hotel officials, and it's like a movie. It was like a movie scene that you've seen when the mother's son disappears, but he's disobeyed her. It was just like that, where I came walking down the hallway and I was like, I wonder what the hell's going on. Wait a second. That's our room. Oh my God, what's going on? And my mother saw me and she said, oh, Jesus, Lord, thank you. Oh, and I'm like, what's wrong? She's hugging me. Oh, thank you, Lord. We were all worried about you. And so thank you guys. Thank them when they leave. And she just loving on me and hugging on me. And then once the guys left, she's like, boy, what is wrong with you? I ought to whoop your ass. In fact, I am going to whoop your ass, but I'm going to enjoy Sammy. And I will take care of this when we get home. In fact, I'm going to let your daddy take care of this. She didn't. She handled it. And I thought maybe she'd forget about it. No. We came home on a Sunday night. I got my ass whooped on a Sunday night. It was horrible. I was going to tell another Vegas story, but I can't remember. I don't know where I was going. What's my other famous Vegas story? When I was a kid. When I was a kid, yeah. Okay. Billy Preston. You were just playing it. They took me, now I'm like 15, 16, and they take me, and the Sahara, I don't know if it still has, but they used to have like little lounges that sat about, I don't know, maybe 25, 30 people. And he was huge. I mean, he was huge. And it was Billy Preston. And it was great. It was just him and his piano or his whatever that thing is. Not really a piano. It's like I don't know what you call it. It's like /organ/piano. And he just played the hits and he told the story about how he was, the Beatles used to call him the fifth Beatle because he had a great relationship with Paul McCartney and those guys. And it was just a great show. I mean, I was 16 years old. I'd never really seen a show like that where it was so close and confined, where he talked to the audience and he told stories about him coming up and blah, 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 blah. And it was just great. It was every time I hear that song, I think about that weekend in Vegas. I guess I should talk about this because I got like 100 likes on Facebook. I was just posting this because I freaked out. I was watching the ESPYs the other night, and I matriculated at Baker's Cal State during the golden basketball years, 92 to 94, when the team went 33-0 that first year. And I'm telling you, you'd have to live it, because there were games where they were down 9. There was a game where Kenny Warren hit a 3 to win it at the buzzer. And they just kept winning and kept winning. And, you know, nobody's going to go perfect. So we kept waiting for them to lose, and they just didn't. They just didn't. Justin Hudson was on that team. You know, his father, Mark Hudson. Justin is now a big-time coach. He was formerly at Fresno State. He started at San Diego State. And they were just, that team was unbelievable. Tyrone Davis, Kenny Warren, Justin Hudson, Reggie Phillips, who I was good friends with. I was really good friends with these guys because they needed me. I probably shouldn't talk about this. I've talked about it forever, but I used to write papers for the guys. I used to write these 3-page double-spaced papers. I was the managing editor of the newspaper. I charged them $50, and I ran out of business because a kid that was illiterate, I gave him a C+ paper, and he ratted me out. And I was lucky I didn't get tossed out of school, you want to know the truth. But Kenny Warren has become a big-time barber, so much so that he owns a comedy club. So the host of the ESPYs owes his career to Kenny, because when the host of the ESPYs, whoever he is, he was on Saturday Night Live, he was a regular. He still may be, actually. When he was a nobody, Kenny Warren, our point guard on that 92-93 team, gave him a shot. So he invited him to the ESPYs because he's the host. And at one point during the ESPYs, he went in the audience and he interviewed Kenny. And Kenny's got a little gray on him, and he's probably what? If I'm 64, Kenny's probably 58, 59. And he had a line, they had kind of a thing. And I wrote on Facebook, did you see Kenny Warren? I said, that boy used to cut my hair. I used to go get books with the basketball team because I was a black guy and the white people just assumed I was one of the players because I was only 32 years old at the time. And I used to play 21 with he and Justin.
And I was telling Monty Wilson went to school with me. He's a great guy. And he said, I remember everything you were put down there, Ralph, except you playing 21. And I'm like, I was 32, Monty. I could play back then. And you know how they would beat me? You know how to play 21? Where it's like one-on-one until you score, and then you get 2 free throws, and you get to keep the ball if you make the free throws. Well, their free throw line was top of the key because they were college basketball players. You think I'm going to make it consistently from the top of the key? Wasn't happening. They kicked my ass, but it was just great to see Kenny Warren as a grown-ass man and a successful grown-ass man. Quick timeout, last half hour. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Federal health officials have identified lettuce from Mexico served at Taco Bell locations across 5 U.S. states as a source of a widespread outbreak of diarrhea-causing parasite Cyclospora. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention late Thursday warned consumers not to eat shredded iceberg lettuce from Taco Bell restaurants in Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. Millions of people in the Great Lakes, Northeast, and Mid-Atlantic states are muddling through another day of unhealthy air from uncontrolled wildfires in Minnesota and Canada. The nation's capital was enveloped in an eerie haze Friday. Air quality warnings are expected to remain in effect at least through Saturday in parts of the U.S. More details available at srnnews.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
2 restaurants damaged by fire, 2 firebugs wanted by police. The first happened early Saturday morning at Luigi's restaurant on the southeast side. That's where a man tried to set a fire, and police now say he also set 7 other fires. They'd like to put the cuffs on him, and they're asking for tips. He's described as 5'5", was last seen wearing blue jeans and a dark-colored T-shirt, and has a bald spot. The second incident was 6 Molotov cocktails thrown inside of Morisco's Las Islitas at Panama Lane and 8th Street. That happened Wednesday morning about 1:40, say Bakersfield police and fire investigators. But whoever did it was not successful in burning the place down, and it is still open for business. No motive has been discussed publicly, and police are asking for tips. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
I'm here with Dr. Tarkesh from Affordable Dentures and Implants. Doc, do people often think dental implants are a one-size-fits-all solution? Can you explain what dental implants are and how they benefit patients?
Yes. Dental implants are a permanent solution for missing teeth. They act like natural tooth roots and support crown, bridges, or dentures. Unlike traditional dentures, implants provide a secure fit, look natural, and allow patients to eat, speak, and smile confidently without worrying about slippage.
Well, many people are concerned about the pain involved with dental procedures.
Some people have a more complex situation or have what we call dental phobia. If so, we offer IV sedation that allows patients to relax completely during their dental procedure, making it a stress-free experience.
Get the smile you've always wanted without anxiety at Affordable Dentures and Implants. Dr. Nozar Tarkesh, who specializes in implants with IV sedation. Visit them online at affordabledentures.com. Affordable Dentures and Implants. That's what we do.
Go ahead and smile.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-924-7415. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-924-7415. 800-924-7415. 800-924-7415.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security.
For the Central Valley, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Well, all right, it's okay. When you win, I'm in love with you. Well, all right, okay. When you win, hey baby, what can I do? I'll do anything that you say, and it's just get to be that way. Well, it's all right, okay. When you win, I'm in love with you. Well, all right, okay. When you win. Hey, baby, me and you. Anything you say, I'll do. As long as it's me and you.
The great Joe Williams.
Baby, but first thing every morning, you must wake me with a kiss. You got to make up for all the loving
that you have made me miss.
Well, all right, okay. When you win, I'm in love with you. Well, all right, okay. When you win, hey baby, what can I do? Anything you do, I'll say. Well, it's just got to be that way.
Count Basie and his orchestra. Joe Williams, Joe Williams, Joe Williams.
And all I want from you, you just love me as I love you, and that will not be hard to do. Well, all right, it's okay. When you win,
what are you waiting for?
Well, all right, it's okay. When you win, but baby, there's one thing more. If I'm gonna be your man, pretty baby, let me take your hand. Well, all right.
That's my favorite part.
You win.
Listen to Basie.
Well,
Listen to Basie.
right.
Pull up the horns.
Okay. You win. And if I'm gonna be your man, baby, let me take your hand. Well, all right. Okay. You win.
The Count Basie Orchestra and the great Joe Williams. And you guys know Joe Williams. You don't think you know Joe Williams, but I bet you do know Joe Williams, particularly if you're over 45 and you may not know his music, but you may know him as Claire Huxtable's father. She played Claire Huxtable's father on The Cosby Show. And there are 2 episodes where they do duets together. Because Felicia Rashad, as crazy as she is, because she's now a dean at Howard, and people, from what I understand, people won't take her class because she thinks that Dr. Cosby was done wrong. Yeah, she's nutsy cuckoo because that man is a menace. Mr. Flores and I are going to take the New York Times quiz. We will alternate who goes first. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first? Your choice.
I'll go first.
All right. Lindsey Graham, a South Carolina senator, died on Saturday at 71. Who was appointed to finish his term? Was it Shane Beamer, Darlene Graham, Nancy Mace, Henry McMaster, or Joe Wilson?
That's his sister. I would assume. I don't know her name, but Graham would be the correct answer.
And that would be my guess as well. That's absolutely correct. I will go first now. After the ceasefire between the United States and Iran collapsed, President Trump announced and then walked back a plan to do what? Barricade Karg Island, invade Pickaxe Mountain, I pronounced that right, position troops in Afghanistan, toll cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz, or use chemical weapons on Fordo. I will say toll cargo ships in the Strait. You agree?
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
There's
That's pretty easy.
some of those options. The other ones are better, but
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Number 3, 2 deadly high-profile shootings involving federal immigration agents have occurred this month. They happened in Biddeford, Maine, and which other American city? Dallas, Houston, New York, Seattle, or St. Louis? Ooh, he doesn't know.
I don't.
'Cause I know. I've been all over this story.
There was a Texas one though, right? Am I right to think
I will
it was
give you
the
that.
Texas?
It's either
right?
That's or Houston.
That's I knew I narrowed it down to Texas.
Yes,
I
I'll
knew I
give you
was
that
there.
much. It's either Dallas or Houston.
Ah.
I can't even whistle.
Houston.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Houston's correct. Number 4, a jury found Trump liable in 2023 for sexually abusing the writer E. Jean Carroll in the 1990s and then defaming her. How much did he pay her last week as part of a jury award? I know this one too. Am I going first?
Yeah, your turn.
Oh, I shouldn't have said I knew.
Thanks.
Damn. It's 5.6 million.
Yeah.
It's 5.6 million. That is correct. Number 5, Todd Blanche sat before the Senate Judiciary Committee on Wednesday as he sought permission to permanently serve in what cabinet position? Really? Administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency? Yeah, right.
That's not it?
Attorney General, Director of the Central Intelligence Agency, Secretary of Homeland Security, or Secretary of State?
Yeah, Attorney General.
Number 6, the Trump administration subpoenaed several New York Times journalists after the outlet reported on security concerns involving what? Trump's White House ballroom, election machines in Georgia, Trump's ties to Jeffrey Epstein, Trump's Qatari-donated Air Force One, or leaked messages from a signal group. I'm going to say Trump's Qatari-donated Air Force.
All the above? No, I'm
Yeah, no kidding.
Can we look into all of it?
And they are. They're asking, Susie Wiles, who I didn't think was this radical, is asking for personnel to turn in their phones. I don't even know if that's legal. But I guess if you work for the federal government, they can do whatever the hell they want.
Huh?
But she's asking people to turn in their phones. They are pissed about this. Do you know what it is?
What's the answer here?
Yeah.
Yeah, the plane?
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody leaked that there were security concerns. And that is absolutely right. Number 7, a severe stomach bug, we were just talking about this, spreading in the United States is caused by a parasite transmitted through contaminated food and water. What is the parasite called?
Oh.
This I know just because I saw the word. Norovirus, Plasmodium, hantavirus, cyclospora, or ringworm.
Hunter?
No.
No?
No, it's cyclospora. Yeah, it's cyclospora. I got that one right. Sotheby's, number 8, Sotheby's set a record in the commercial fossil market this week with the sale of a dinosaur skeleton. Oh, Lord. What kind of dinosaur was it? Was it a brontosaurus, a stegosaurus? I thought Fred Flintstone made that up. I didn't know it was really a stegosaurus. I thought Fred and Barney just made that up. Tyrannosaurus Rex, Ceratosaurus, or I can't even pronounce this. Deinonychus? Deinonychus. I have absolutely no idea. So I'm going to take the only one I really know, Brontosaurus or Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm going to say Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, I'll go T-Rex.
T-Rex?
Yeah.
Wait, did we good? Oh, we got it right. That was a total guess. I had no idea. Let's read about this. It was a T-Rex. The $50.1 million sale allowed the T-Rex to reclaim its title as the most valuable dinosaur on the commercial fossil market. 2 years ago, it had been unseated by an herbivore, no less, when a Stegosaurus fossil was auctioned for $44.6 million. I swear I often heard that word on the Flintstones and thought they were just making that up. Number 9, the Wimbledon Championship wrapped up this week. Who won the men's singles title? That's pretty easy. You got that? You don't know?
Uh-huh.
Is it Alexander Zverev, Yannick Sinner, Novak Djokovic, Arthur Furry, or Carlos Alcaraz?
Yeah, I have no clue. I like Djokovic because that's my guy, but I know he didn't win, so it's gonna be one of the other guys, Paris or
And
something.
Alcaraz didn't play. I'll give you that much.
Okay,
So what do you got? It's either Zverev, Sinner, or Ferry.
Ferry.
No, dude, Sinner. He's the
Sinner.
number 1 player in the world.
Sure.
Yannick Sinner. And I just happened to watch it. Ooh, it's about the Odyssey. The Odyssey, a film adaptation of Homer's nearly 3,000-year-old. I was wrong. I said 2,000. Homer's nearly 3,000-year-old epic arrived in theaters this week. Which Oscar winner wrote and directed the movie? You should get this because I said it when Rick was in here. Ben Affleck, Christopher Nolan, James Cameron, Matt Damon, or Sofia Coppola? What say you?
Sofia Coppola, huh? That's a good one. Just throwing in there. Nolan, Mr.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we talked about it with what's his name? Final. An African monkey in a Congolese rainforest was recently recognized as a new species. Oh, Lord. The monkey has what highly distinguishing feature? I have no freaking idea. Is it antlers, blue hair, forked tail, 8 arms, or orange lips? All right, let's take this like an SAT test. It can't be orange lips because those are orangutans, right? Or do they have orange butts?
Or blue.
Blue hair? You think it's blue hair?
No. I'm saying orangutans have blue butts.
Oh, is it blue? Well, one of them's got orange. Maybe, I don't know. All right, so I'll throw out orange. Ain't nobody but an octopus got 8 arms. So that's out. Nobody but an octopus has 8 arms.
An octomonkey.
Yeah, nobody's got 8 arms. So it's down to antlers, blue hair, forked tail, or orange. I'm throwing out orange lips.
So it's
what
are you saying? Blue hair.
Antlers, blue hair, forked tail, 8 arms, or orange lips. I'm eliminating orange lips, 8 arms. So for me, it's between antlers, blue hair, and forked tail. I have seen an animal with blue hair before, so I'm going to go with blue hair. What do you got? Antlers, blue hair, forked tail, 8 arms,
I'm
orange
gonna say
lips.
no on the antlers.
Yeah.
No on the 8 arms.
Yeah.
No on the forked tail. Was it blue hair and orange lips? You said blue hair?
Yeah, I said blue hair.
I'll go with the orange lips.
Orange lips. Damn, you got it right.
That was a guess.
Orange
That was all
lips.
a guess.
It's orange lips. The species is formerly called Colobus congenesis, but is known locally as Lick Willie. Lick Wiley.
Oh, no. Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a joke there. I ain't
Family
touching it. Yeah, I ain't touching it. Researchers spotted the monkey in 2008 and have since determined that the monkey is constrained to a small area in the northeast of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Live and learn, teach and turn. What was the correct answer? Orange lips? Let me see this monkey. Yeah, he's got orange lips, all right. Crazy. I get so scared when I see movies with chimpanzees. You know, I don't know how they do it. Because don't they, I mean, for decades, Hollywood dealt with chimpanzees. It's amazing that none of them, you remember the story of the guy up in Tehachapi who got attacked by his chimps? And they have extraordinary strength. I don't know if you guys remember this story, but there was a doctor and a wife that had a monkey kind of refuge up in Tehachapi. And 2 of the monkeys went nuts, which is, I did on purpose because he literally castrated the man, took off his balls and ripped like his eyeball out. Chimpanzees have incredible strength. And now every time I watch the Beverly Hillbillies, which yes, I still do on occasion, and I see Ellie Mae walking around with a chimp, or I see him in movies like the Clint Eastwood movies. What were those Clint Eastwood movies where he had the orangutan was his partner? Philo Beto was the name of the character. Any Which Way But Loose. Any Which Way, that whole, I think it was a sequel, a threesome. I just freak out because I'm like, how do they handle these things? I've been waiting to say this all week. Final break of the week. It's been a long week for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm getting forward because he's going on vacation and I'm itching for my vacation to come up. But this is the final break of the week. Keep it locked. Scott Jennings comes up at the top of the hour. We got a great show for you on Monday. I'm excited about this show. We're going to talk with Jeet Singh at 3:30. Then at 4 o'clock, we're going to talk with Michael Bowers and Ishmet Singh, Jeet Singh's daughters. Bailey trying to stop the show, or end the show, take two. We got a great show for you on Monday. On Monday, we're going to have Dr. Jeet Singh at 3:30. Then at 4 o'clock, we're going to have his son and Michael Bowers on together. Now, why in the world would we have those two, an 18, 17-year-old boy and a 45, 46-year-old man? They're a common theme. They're both headed to Harvard. Dr. Singh's boy is obviously a freshman, and Mr. Bowers is acquiring his master's degree from Harvard. So we're going to talk with the two of them, and of course, our good friend Nick Ragone to wrap up this weekend's Open Championship. Keep it locked. Scott Jennings at the top of the hour. You're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we stream live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, obviously we'll have highlights from the world's biggest human foosball game. We got that. We got the hot list. We got America's Job Center, help people find jobs. We got news, traffic, weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey, it's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Sangera Subaru. You know, the world's biggest tournament is in full swing. In the summer, Sangera Subaru is bringing all the excitement home. So they're kicking it off right now in July with some incredible offers on new Subarus. Right now, lease a 2026 Outback Cream CVT for $229 a month for 36 months and $5,017 due at signing. Plus, every Subaru comes standard with symmetrical all-wheel drive. So don't miss your chance to drive something brand new during soccer's biggest event of the summer, going on right now at Sangera Subaru. Stop by, see my good friends Damon and Hassan, and test drive a brand new Subaru. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community. 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive in the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
2026 Subaru Outback Premium CVT with TSRP $37,287, $229 per month plus tax for 36 months. Total lease payments $8,869, $5,017 total due at lease signing. Includes first month payment, excludes tax, title, license, and $85 document fee. Total lease costs $13,886, excluding tax and fees. No security deposit. Lease based on 7,500 miles per year, 57 miles over. Available to qualified customers through Subaru Motor Finance. On approved credit. Expired July 31st, 2026. Excludes optional command dealer installed accessories. VIN number TY514370.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
In Kern County, Valley fever affects more than 3,000 people each year. But together, we can change that. Join Kern County Public Health as a Valley Fever ambassador. You don't need medical experience, just a willingness to help your community stay informed. Neighbors sharing with neighbors. Coworkers looking out for each other. Be part of the solution by signing up for a 30-minute virtual training. Visit KernPublicHealth.com to learn more.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical
detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Well, I heard about the fella you've been dancing with all over the neighborhood. So why didn't you ask me, baby? Or didn't you think I could? But I know that the boogaloo is out of sight, but the shingling thing tonight. But if that was you and me, baby, I would have shown you how to do it right. 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 Twisted. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, baby.
So I've managed to do it again. End the show on a sour note, but I gotta get this in here. And it's the sad news that Captain Chesley Sullenberger has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And what they're saying is, and this is, I don't find this hard to believe. Oh, look at that picture. You missed it. It was Catalina Island. It's such a pretty bay, that whole little bay. Have you ever been to Catalina?
Not on the island itself, no.
You should do it.
No.
You should do it. I played baseball. I played Brentwood. We played Avalon, and I was there. And then we had our senior retreat there. Those are the only 2 times I've ever been there. But in their ball field, which used to be apparently Wrigley, the chewing gum guy, used to own a Catalina, and that's where the Cubs used to have spring training. And we played on that field. We played Avalon. It's the high school there. My senior year, we had a great baseball team, and it was a crap field. Like, we thought it was going to be like a big league field because the big leaguers used to play there. No, it was crap. I had so many. In fact, I got a black eye. I remember I got a black eye on a bad bounce that hit me in the eye. It was such a crap field. But by the way, before I get to this, somebody in the chat room said that Stormy Daniels was at a nightclub or a comedy club last night. God, I wish I had known that. I would have begged her to come on the show, relax, settle down. I would like to have met her. But what would bring her? Well, is she trying to do stand-up now? Person in the chat room, anybody know? She trying to do stand-up, or she just like gets like $1,000 to show up and be the MC or something? I bet it was that new comedy club downtown, right across from Gooby's barbershop. Used to be Scott loved the place. Used to be
Fish Lips.
Fish Lips. Used to be
Now
Fish
it's
Lips.
the Well Comedy Club.
Exactly. I bet that's where it was. Was it? Is that where it was? Whoever submitted that? I don't know. But getting back to Captain Sully, they're saying that he had PTSD from the plane landing. Isn't that horrible? You're a hero. You save 155 lives. And not only does it haunt you for the rest of your life, but it speeds up Alzheimer's. And now, as I said, he was talking to the New York Post, and he was just saying, it began, I just started forgetting things that I knew, and I couldn't get my way home, and it's just really, really sad. I really like that guy. And if you've not seen it, you should go see this, JR, on demand or something. Sully is a great movie that is directed by Clint Eastwood. And at the end of the film, which is really my favorite part of the film, he shows real footage of them out on the wing. Because remember, he lands the plane on the Hudson, and then they all have to like hang out on the wing of the ship waiting for all the rescue ships. And Eastwood, at the end of the film, shows real footage of the incident. And then at the very end of the film, it's Sullenberger with the real Sully Sullenberger. It's played by Tom Hanks, by the way, if you haven't seen it. And his co-pilot and all 155 of the passengers are in a what do you call those things? A bay, a plane hangar, a hangar. They're in the hangar, and there's the plane there. I don't. Obviously, it's not the plane. And Sully says is, "My name is Captain Sullenberger. I'm your captain." And they all applaud. I don't know why, but that's my favorite part of the film. And it's just a great picture. Just a great picture. Want to thank Rick Bentley for joining us, and my good friend Nick Ragone. He'll join us again on Monday when we talk with Jeet Singh, and then later talk with his son and Michael Bowers on their new adventure to Harvard. We're excited about that, and Nick Ragone will join us as well. I want to thank Mr. Flores for filling in for Mr. Burdick. He's back on Monday. But in the meantime, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the Open. And I will see you on Monday. For Chris Burdick, J.R. Flores, and Daisy Canal, who filled in this week, I'm Ralph Bailey. And that's what's really going on. I'll rap to you Monday.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN. 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
Keith Peters in Washington. In his nationwide address Thursday evening, President Trump again called on Congress to ensure ballot integrity by passing the Save America Act. On the Salem News program this week on Capitol Hill with Tony Perkins, House Speaker Mike Johnson predicts that may come as early as next week, tying the legislation to a major reconciliation bill.
Desperate times call for different measures. The reason we have to get Reconciliation 3.0 done, it is the vehicle for us to deliver the Save America Act to the president's desk. It is the only way to do it, because remember, there's no way to get 60 votes for Save America in the Senate. The Democrats just simply won't go along with that, and you've only got 53 Republicans. Make it a reconciliation matter, tying it to the budget with a fiscal impact that will qualify it for that process so we can pass it with 51 votes in the Senate and finally take care of this problem.